speak my own language at school, even grow my own hair. Our strong African leaders are killed. The puppet mouth shut. Into the bay. Oh, Africa. The bay. Foreigners are protected. Indigenous are always apprehended. Discrimination against black is what we are capable. Get serious. Dreadlocks have no correlation with intelligence. Compare Okonfo Anachi to pastors. Kwame Nkrumah to others. Wake up, for we can't be like others. Wake up from mental slavery. Wake up. The world is just a book. Those who do not travel read only a page. Get serious. Aita Bobo, the African poet.
Alright, we see Mo Bibiara Kwaba from Kastle 90.3 FM, and it's Tuesday, the 27th day of May 2025. Ebiabri yatsna sa yebezin komo afa omai konkron Ghana ho. Ebiabri business kwamena suman. Ende yeda odikana edu kesefiniza to ha another abribiazi to ha ebiabri ba mensan mo akwa bebio. Your number one political and current affair program mema no hodo ewiabri ya tena do a ensem ahoro bi orokodo ewo Ghana yebezi ho nkomo ende ewiabri onti ewiabri. You can be part of this show by joining our Facebook or YouTube, but Kastle 90.3 FM on Facebook, then also on YouTube. Damaso and other various social media handles in Nano, but Kastle 90.3 FM unsa baken ho abefo kwantempon kesi www.kastlefmonline.com and once unsa baken in the area bring the platform here they do text message and if you WhatsApp message in the area bring or very active on Intifafa 0244743143 0244743143 for who comment na o thought ni nyina no fobra ya bekan ya say amon once again my mention mbo nke bio there message na zeba na asan abochiri bio na ahwede za edriban anana achrona at times messages no oba bi one kan oye yo kakra mesre mempede I'll go over your message another I'll reject your message or I'll not read your message on it mempede me read obi an message e we abri for 0244 743 143 0244 743 143 na in command in the abri even in command who been a year busy. The program is very packed. Na Oyaza, His Excellency the President of the Republic in the Ozinkomobi Zituga na Okacha the business community, the CEOs that pass on some of the city appreciation to Ghanaians. Oniti ose ende imbre yani Ghana sika we kudru adiri senyinano Ghana no city no again strength against the dollar. His Excellency say the appreciation, the efforts say yarubo ibinu wana bada oyaza Ghana funyina so no yabo imagine power on that aspect yabua ema the city no we gain the strength against the dollar. Now on this very platform yes in command and there was a report, a document. The me document numpono me by me beche tremu ahade yezu in komo. Ni nyina fan oye the missing containers are the Minister of Energy when he assumed office. Oma yenya nti there some ECG containers be ayo. Ma the committee what constitute to do investigations into the report. There were a lot of issues, Obotoga ewoho. But then what is the twist of this issue? Or what is the twist of this investigation at Ende Yarity? Yankode Yansori in that the missing ECG containers has been found. The missing ECG containers has been found. Ewatama Port. And to the questioner, I remember I was asking questions because national security operatives, why evacuation of these containers CB. So only Yerbi said, is it part of Zawayono another on Kaho? Now, and the reports are better day 2,637 missing ECG containers traced at Tamba Port. This is according to the investigations, Ababotogwa, and the chief of staff order the evacuation of these containers into ECG's warehouse. So the reporter Odin Kanabe, and as Oriba in the in Krofo Binima, Wakwachichuan, electrical cables in the Oko Pem El Babino on offering him for. Do you remember that? Wakada watch some Chinese in Krofubi, then a Ghanaian. As at now we are talking, the me Ghanaian whether Beino Besio, you this Ghanaian involved in that. So there are a lot of questions that we need to ask. But Yadanyamia say that eventually these containers are the minister no Kadawayo reports by Bada Bonson, Emma Yaya discussions are chrono. And these containers have been traced. Tema port. Now, yebokom na yehu the various port terminals are this containers in Ogu. The maso and the energy minister or advocate the electricity company of Ghana that wants to suspend non-essential procurement suppliers. Also, suppliers must clear delivery. Enti non-essential procurement. The minister what charge the electricity company of Ghana, the board, the whole company to suspend any purchase of non-essential or procurement of non-essentials. Ono yeah in summer the minister for energy and the Odi Rutuga elho na car ho in some 15% reduction. Equident. Some of the bus terminals are still charging the old fares. About 2 days ago, a story I yet in for the Eco Circular, a driver of picky another offer passengers already old fare. Passengers resisted that they will not pay the old fare or try U-turn or return it back. Kweko see station or send passengers in Yina. And a pay on our news, you bought a sound bite. Echo or your Pedu Ford station. The drivers there are charging the old price. So drivers, I mean on your own, some of them it been what to do. So if you are the Yanisa Baka GPRTU in painful on this issue. Now you in common on what is the directive and the oracle. What is the directive oracle on this 15% reduction? Some of the drivers still charging the old fares. We will try to get the PRO for GPRTU, Abbas Imoro, to talk to him on this issue. And see, Yeguda Yezin Kome, Yanisaka Ora Abbas Imora, the production team is working on it. Yanisaka na, Yanin Bezi in Komo, on some of the drivers and one still what charge the old price, what is the directive? So these are some of the issues and the area bri yatina say na yebezi in komo once again mama fast denibi informa the production team headed by Mr. Bernard Ogo Damaso Osman Afi FKK Blackus Elkenatum Facebook then also on YouTube and as well you can join us there, leave your comments, share the page na like as well. Yeah, na menkano message ni nanso ho. For messages in so for 0244743143. Then join the biggest conversation and the area breed. Let me drive you safely with the relevant information. Oruchugu ewo Ghana ha. Once again, business kwamena suman. My first danibi. Mfa menjumoku area breed oruso yanasen the biggest show yamfambro and the area breed. Ridge Royal Hotels yankan show day on Cherry Biara and Yedi Monday's day. Now in 1 hour crown what went on day. Which can you and 1 year my mini now Father's Day in Suriba on inti wasi and they appreciate your father. Wabra on the 15th of June. On the 15th of June or a Sunday, we are treating our fathers a special way on inti and they was to celebrate dad in Grand Star at Ridge Royal Hotel. It's a Father's Day. On into packaging is bebrekwa. Oyaza what it told was I'm surprise your father. A jebuawa or son or ye besiempo. In fact, in Wadinaba or Bono. On into Ridge Royal Hotel nature kwan. Our second Ridge our Cape Coast here for 0312003222 and 0501672908. Ridge Royal Hotel, richly inviting, comfortably yours. Max by Siankencho the ND was the weekend reduction sales was the ABBA. On the end of Tuesday, Yami Adumochina Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. The weekend reduction sales in Ochuchia. Items ranging from AC to smartphones to a lot of products. Then ibu on max buy wasuko na kejibia watitu ebuni nyinado was the amo online purchasing called www.maxbuy.com.gh www.maxbuy.com.gh and also the frame it was 055 054401 9552 0544 01 9552 and 0594 091122 Oye Dongomi from Oye Max Bar Lonat and the malaria or Hong Kong bebre on inti ya can't lonat amo ansana befa lonat and testify there malaria nibi ansana and lonat and sam did ye pa ansana anum FDA agye oye edri atum wasan ase de ampa oye papa ebotum na atobi na anum ma menkwa ma no do na menyi ora Abbas Imoro Alhaji Nkozi Nkomo ewo the recent year was be able to go on ile transfer fares that one so do and the zayerity in there some of the drivers what's one to do what's one to fee GPRTU what are they doing Abbas good afternoon.
Afternoon, master.
Ma memo akwaba from Kastle 90.3 ewo Cape Coast.
No. and Rebecca Fancy.
Iyo Rebecca Fancy pa be de bibia eboko.
Boko dama.
Ya dan yami ase. Na yezin komo ne nyina fa recently the 15% reduction was able to go. So far ya today some of the drivers they are still charging the old fares. GPRTU, what better when you notice as to what is going on and what is the steps that you are taking on this?
Well, I'll be surprised. As at now, Kasai say yesterday, then you do no more or more answer and comply with the money because now I need to learn from Musamma. The moment the transit, I share with the Transport Ministry, now the communicate Bob on Timpe, now Yemra, now the reports I am Sankan Kakra, do no more Yasun, and now the Cassitan. No emblem because DKC Yemra. Ama na wa obedi bedi agro na ojoko ko yemu wo law court share wo ho ni em say e be tun waso nti ya be factor more yes sales more sisa and comply by the reduction no more than na comply after the two lawyers when I have money, yeah, the Edgema, other than Membrana, my point said, that me so now, yeah, you so made Pino can say, or more find me Edgema. And the gun and now, we are fighting against the organ, the repertoire. So, been more hostile, not among me, yeah, so much, Edgema, saying, hey, dear. Protocol bread that new adrenaline that was super the mouth that I call you more court and not papa.
What is their concerns inter and one the Wojina Kitty there? Wanted so or the 15% now GPRTU and then other driver unions ought to be able to go no and one the one so though. What was their reason?
No, sir, they have no justification because we stood on Fango, the Tison Kitty, this is by 18%. And yes, Nyama Edia Jumanu, the year Hushi, I quite remember in 2022, we came up with upward adjustment on only fuel, not time fuel, a cost, and I so let it to law firm. It works perfectly. But unchecked and somewhere in December, the law firm so by 15.3%. And also now for now so two mono and check the unnecessary decline buffer Nigeria so yeah and also. And it's the same thing. We crap we have factored in risk allowance in Yamanyama some 18% now for an phone by our tradition, the fire first would be we should have factored in only 6% reduction. here in the case, Shepherd swap on me, so Yemo make a crama or move for adjust to Omoniama. So we took that risk and I factor in or more percentage kakraka lubricants. Dollar no cost low no now and also prices no cost low. We have the same belief say but for me in the next few weeks ahead of us and also automatically prices no fall and also the risk will factor into it. And then now I for so by 15% year Juma. Fair price for Babon say. Yeah, so we are here near Manu so by this percentage. Yeah, transing you know fair no so good. Oh yeah, neighbor food na phone so more prices no decline now. And also yeah transing can say we so yeah so kakra yeah trans na yeah you know fair so good. That be you are factored in all those things. Then there the benye coin I Juma ko dem kakra. 20, we have no justification to say, me, you love friends. And I think to say, almost use yeah, floating drivers. Floating drivers now, don't be illegal. Yeah, Marano, my coin say, we wait for a car, now they are see a coin so we you have to belong to the existing unions or register your own transport company and no number and more point now yes one and then floating cars they bray maybe they are I deny it say with the counterfeit akwakoto we who are legally no who more about this say if share Ghana the abano who find and when boy or coin be so
since the main issue was the confrontations with zebra passengers and driver because passengers there is a 15% reduction. I mean, some comfort car now driver and also all the old price now. As a passenger, what should I do?
It is a more fat driver and come police. Maka say, oh, not so binding abagana ha. Not so binding any and temha. 1 2 better ya ko bi atora na sa akukukunu eni entemo Ghana ene onipa kunwa ye common amebenumu. That is what we want the passengers to avoid. Driver ye ba ko mate ye ba ko mo ye maybe no mo ye 10 and 20 and 30 so mo ba yan panso on driver no mate na dey be film up and nya di papa. And the driver need to be a mukamu. No bias on day, so no only some fun more police.
Now, a corner one am doing say police in New Quano.
Oh, master, second one no ma. Oh, I say, enter choir, ma, toko and see, but ma, rather fat no question. Until they were
okay. I say me but driver out them no and embrace too much national because in Ghana answer never operate or transport and you need to belong to any of the driver unions and one won't belong to the driver unions what umbra and what are the steps that will take to avoid all these things.
On my number, airline 21A, we call regulation 121. And they are a law enforcing agency for no, Fanya Juma, a police Juma, and you host our interview, and Yami, driver for PRO, and Yami,
okay,
now, but on my number, a law enforcing agency for America, said Brano, I hear Juma must be Abba. Many say, I know why case about the third or fourth time being cancelled. Anyone pass as at now. Transport Minister in Babontin, the country war the for account. I mean, I don't know if they are getting weaker and weaker, I don't know. But by now, it should have come up. Says, yes, yeah, negotiations yeah, because every day, the citizens. Oh, now I am Rama and I'm surprised from Saturday the women now yeah T-shirts on recalcitrant drivers didn't move or move per se or move fanya almost a mile a day almost fair almost trainer yambu be pro be answer I wonder but I'm not happy with their behavior no I'm personally not happy with it.
Even Brina will share the transport ministry or the minister to come out with a communique.
Yes, on this because yes, someone say maybe I a lawyer first so and I a for we end up at their place because they also defend the general public. Oh, more percentage no also do the pamucho munyanusa na dialogue finally they will come to conclusion. Well, then it becomes a law. Yeah, the communicate back on paper. Now, Yemra, we bounce all of us nationwide. So, say, the Abba, now, I didn't say, oh, my jai, we are saying, Mamma, let us try about Abonte. Now, you say, to learn on some percentage. They are the very people who come and plead for the passengers. So, why not now? Why not now? I'm disappointed in there. As of today, I want to me and Bob Bontin the cars, or then no more person.
And the Oraba Simoro, you can confirm that the 15% reduction still holds.
Oh, it's working. It's working massively. As we speak now, say we're being more fine here, Juma. The bear 1 or 2%. As we speak now, so we're being more because some also more passenger, more who coin and driver no system more. You to it is up to you. And also, some more mobile more coin.
I want to ask some no. I want to ask some no.
And this some more. You are sika and yemi alaja bas nesika na waji.
Okay.
Ewu na wasisi, enyemi na wasisi. And to move bebree, mobile more never back on me wasisi mo. Na muntu men kansi, muntu me yawushi. So the car don't see your cramo. Most of that price was almost a move for. If you have the farm, I approve fair no fun come and coffee, uncle possible here. On says or Benio no so brania or Bediana. Yes, my races are a maybe I better fair. Immediately, a man no better prepare, no say, and then I jar to move. Or sell some runner and entire chair. That to me is so. I then net ya issue, but you show my of home.
All right. All right, but that's it, but you jam my call. Even a fortunate mama, your colleague drivers are, and the even more what so do, even so one so do. I mean, general advice you would give to them.
Okay. No, so you don't want to say more than more cat. Now, you transfer so
all right. All right, but tomorrow, that's it, brain to be behind your best and abolition.
Yo.
All right. Bye. Ebuseyani Alhaji Abbas Imoro ono the PRO Zema JPRTU national PRO and eyinkezi in common on the 15% reduction of oil lorry fares. Some of drivers in what they want to and they were confirmed that the 15% still hold Ogudara or Yujuma on into a passenger na ekofu kala insist that the reduction should hold. Also, so insist into driver or say on task, report that driver to the nearest police station. I don't know, the police you also picking up, but this I just gotta call into then. All right, Aziz from the NPP side, Wabaka and Sa Damaso and Joel, so Wabaka and Sa, you're busy in common on these issues and the horrible boy. The bano, but then my yonder game park in Swasi game park is young sure day and they over 7,000 people and away the 800,000 Ghana cities. So 7,000 na far divide by the 800,000 Ghana cities. Nefisika and Kofo when I just pick one number. What's ye na the number or kobo pet can crane or yaza will multiply your wins by 30 times. 30 times. Game Park also cool shop. Just pick one. Now, Wasu AD. The Mason Anointed Engineering Services Limited. And the Yenjumokubi, our Ashar, our mosque, our hotel, restaurant. Like we sukra ho ajenibi. Restaurants in Adina. And the Anointed Cement Control Day. You can't rely on ECG, the Electricity Company of Ghana. On it, and the Ever Kastle Fiadea. Any generator ho. At any point in time, light no ko offer 9 day will turn on our generator and ye dema ye juma. Inti Anointed some pada da means me be bottle. The production good or record no and a light no ko off. And the production had to stop. And the our generators from 5 kVA to 3000 kVA backed by 5 years warranty. On inti a generator papa a pe obi obotumwa installation diamo a generator arranged ibia say a pedal repair so Anointed will be one able was at over 20 branches across the country. Cape Coast or Tantry just opposite the main lorry station or Ben Oye the Republic Bank frame 0248455697 and at 0243480334. Anointed Engineering Services Limited, the generator expert. Njumaku ahro bebreke hu na warobua ema yezi jumezi yezi abro. Later on maba na enkenu so no mebezi won ho nkomo mezi acho. Mamema Aziz akwaba. Aziz. Salamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Ya ide. Bibi aboko. Ya yemfisi ya. Be ya kafa saba bro. Bien finan boko. Ya da me ase. Oh, ya da me ase. Yo. Hey, and the menu name inti bibi ayeboko. Don't worry. Bibi amoko.
Oh, I don't know who my boy senior.
Oh, Christ na aduma kwa. Adibi na yehwehwe nombe no ama.
Oba nche
throughout the day ni nyina nyimpa
nche work a few days.
Oh, onye won a search. But ni nyina so ka ho.
Oba.
Onya pa.
No here pa oba.
And nyimpa something which is there.
But come now quickly. Municipal MC se onhunia say it descend from municipal higher down to higher. On the road, on the right side, say erba down. Pothole be wabadaho.
On your pothole, is it Ghana water? Na pipe leak or
okay?
No, we tray. In a way, Juma.
No way, Jano.
We've been talking about it, sir.
So now drivers in your but maybe I can because
always traffic.
Yeah, until swerve. In face the traffic, na menem the right side.
No,
Bawodo. So I think at the MC, His Excellency George, and Honorable George, my elevation, Honorable George.
Ebia in the spiritual realm, presidential ambition.
Yes, it is possible.
It is possible. Everything is possible.
It's Honorable George say auntie ya, ane unhunia. No office or ya. Mesrepa. Obianara ni hanu nti onhwe ma won fix road no. Onhwe no won fix road no because I had them one evening be driver be boss swerve mo abobi wa yempede e betide nyimpe wu ana asem esi ansana e be take action. Them Ghana is yim there asem si ansana e take action no. Nti Honorable George ebe amo akwa ba ya congratulate to fefe edwuma so ere boss we gudo gakankra but nyaman kinkiti bi wo ho a Ebasra Bombozin, Nashe Moye. This road, very, very important road. At least
me at times say one me Ghana water. Ebia wobo twakwana woni pipe da wada da. No we twakwano. Yen na ye pe good road. But then so why responsible. What be ye kwani wie no. The appropriate quarters are what reported today. Ebia kwani na pipe da we are say my abeye. And so that is the urban route or whatsoever.
Yeah,
and one way the immediate responsible persons are also Ghana water fall on them. In can make me one bay crampon, they have to contact them. In Kawaii Yana Wafil, Equada jurisdiction, Porto bar, what a poto no way, F1 with a poto woho. So in our jurisdiction, what is going on?
I mean, we are 100%, you know. And I'm sure that urban roads for Suyaka are also at it. And now also going to. The mass soon as I want so good.
Efa aquarium, anymore. Metro Mass. Adibia why ya toa.
No, I serious mass issues na can them no. Miss Mamma be abri and check can oil abom e
look.
Yeah, you them me paying na me fast mutu mu jump to the rear of the road. Nti anhwe ne asem
e so worry about when would this is the situation there. Into what about when
butar kakra.
Speed.
When ya butar kakra. Exactly what I was saying.
Speed.
But ultimately, we fix the road now on Nobobwa.
One fix
into urban roads, and I think that if the MC Otiema
because on your adikesibia.
No, very
and it is creating problem.
But my film why into your best your best pa one
more many ponits remember you too much and then so about summer. Bibia, I mean certain things I've decided not to talk about it on radio. Because in your maybe or your basic responsibility there as an individual, as institution. They dance and you do what you are supposed to do.
Yeah, that's why we pay them. That's why you pay them. And why they money mono. We pay people to work. But OBI there until and unless nobody is going to work. But some no see they will be the first people to go to the bank there. I see Director Urban Roads and MCAs or appeal.
There's something going on, Brofield Aziz. See defense now, or Drew baby, and in soon contractor now on site to continue the work. Now, and the sea defense no do na sabi abri bibia when him fetch him. I want a sabi woje one and contractor no wa vow there say one stopper ejuma non triado.
Yeah. A big problem.
What kind of stupidity is this?
Yeah,
many. I mean, it seems we don't think.
So the
MC should go and stand there and say, hey, only there sabi the mighty waha and I want for being quite other. I mean, young winyansa.
Yeah, Timemufuni asu ya
young winyansa.
And they I'm Ghana's problem is the Ghanaian. Ghana the biggest problem is the Ghanaian. Here Ghana fune a woman because as you are when we say be one year man could see another one. I am wow na pune ultimately what be benefit from it. And to say we get the minimum, but it raises another question too. Is it the case that when they fear mono there are no washrooms or toilet facilities?
If you are community, if you be we need but community may or public but Ghana for echo new takradia or back from a phone free. What you're free to air. What you're free to air. And this is the situation that we are facing. A compound where there's certain got to be why should I what I did? What they are there? Na sabi why the margin wo e wa ka de e ghetto wa je ho na obi aba na wo be ye dem ebufu de no ho and wo so na wo yi nam nkrofo fo ho enti na ma brofo mpa no anhwe nie ya na ekwetie bibi on se de ATM. I mean, what sort of is that?
And that's why I grew up into Bofedru for my share. Bofedru for
I crouching in every neighbor, a farumpo never could have wounded.
That time we having discussions on development. Yes. And I told you that when there's an infrastructure development, let's say I know and develop here, you wouldn't make use of that infrastructure, and that is what is a clear example of what we discussed the last time we met. There is a sea defense, but the
importance of sea defense. So, but in Surubu send Crawford and Orubu Bukrum, they are calling on the government to do something for them. No, I know you to protect you. Also, and I mean, the secret of it, you are.
So that is why I was saying that we should develop the people. There must be or there was share. Individual development. So if we develop individuals now, when you're inside, we knowledge on what's the infrastructure now, what's your money, so it benefits. So I think the balance of share the other side. Individual development is very important. Our problem is most of us are not educated, and
oh, but apart from not having the education, another you are not educated. If you sabi answer na eboku school, watching if you nyansa. There that to how yet, a day on yet. So no so one show was school that sabi a jona no on pana on ye. What show was school?
School in Chayanza.
Yes, yes, in Nyansa no yes you no fear.
In Chayanza so fear. Nimdi na yesuya. So how to apply them no? No chede osimozi or the ni Nyansa no go Nyansa no bia won tipe won adwen. Bia won Nyansa won tipe.
So we don't apply it. Obia wo kono dey apply na dey.
That is it. Yes. And say I apply na ho for so no chede nimdi ni enye no for so abon. So that's how it is.
Every some more messages in the brand area breathing for mama may heat a double pedal to phone book or may heat. But Yabuku in him for messages in the Fabra 0244 743 143 0244 743 143. You start the conversation and the yesterday the conversation I see and the reporter or about today the containers are or belong to the ECG. There was a report, a committee, the minister, or set it up, and a report came up. You address it, you discuss the report. A lot of infractions in the report, I'll be. And the young Kodan Sora, Zaomayata said these containers are what they won't report by the containers in why you know, and they will come our Tama port. So 860 our Meridian Port Services, 1,237 or Ghana Port one terminal, and 272 already were evacuated by the national security. 194 Ameris terminal, and after 20 Atlas manufacturing terminal. So these are the containers, no reporter Abba. So in effect, container no on your way into Wehu. Aziz.
Yes, see ya.
Yeah, but we more 10 minutes in the income.
I think I'm in chia. It's if you are bring one so good. I mean, now I'm better pain. Yando. I be a mechanic. It's if you are in you. So it's very, very important that you are bringing a bit on. I may read them, but because I feel you never chia. And before our man to me, and it's a Cape Coast North and South. Next week here, we then chairman.
The original chairman.
Yes.
Oh, you week here, me one.
Yes.
Okay.
31st. I think they're about a billion. So, Bejina Casafeduna and Babusanfunina Yako. Maybe in the Mono, Menchia, Cape Coast North chairman, Chairman Stephen Kojohain, Nano Doma. On one party in Hobra or Cape Coast North. Minchia, the grassroots Mazaya, Honorable Pablo. Na Minchia, the former chairperson of the party, and I for Minza. Senior, friend, then missing containers. There has been a joint committee. Why, the 1,300 containers now. This is today. Why you know these containers on your way? Now it has been found at ports. It's a report now. The spokesperson of Ministry of Energy or the bay now. Also, Meridian Port Service about 860 containers were found there. Then Ghana Port and Harbour Authority, one terminal also about 1,237 containers. So according to the man, also 272 containers has been evacuated by the national security. Then them 272 no, nemu 192. Nemu Ameris terminal. Na nemu 20. No Altal terminal. The Papa no can say no. There are still some containers out there. You can work clear within 60 days. Now, going to one clearing one man clearing charges no wabaka ho akɔso one man united na hwɛ them containers na or sum up to about 2,437.
Wow, overstay for more than 60
days. Yes, clearing period no drama no why isn't. But my major concern is that when this issue cropped up, I bet issue started about Baba no and no. We all heard, you know what I mean, lambasting the previous administration.
Uncle.
Okay.
Uncle Union, no.
Very well.
It's Union or about.
So they were lambasting the previous administration, the NPP administration. The NPP people the Mio. I even remember the honorable minority leader, Afenyo Markins, told them that no, my chairman or board chair of ECG before. So let's be very careful the way the manner we point fingers. Because one person cannot go to ECG and port and harbors and steal containers.
But say the maybe you say Afenyo Markin here, he was addressing the issue that there is something of that sort, and you may be a on your bidam kodo.
No, see, I will come to that. Don't worry. So he told all of us that we should stop playing politics with ECG issues. And we enjoy the and let's deal with the issues holistically. Because if I think that maybe I'm a board chair, me a board member, me NPP, I die you were ECG. I mean, if you are born man, maiden, so that was the argument. And the man was saying that no, there are issues there, and let's stop the lamentation. Let's fix it. I remember he even told the president, if there are issues, fix it. One time, there were issues with procurement. No, besides the one in charge of procurement, and why you madam? The man told him that that has always been the way for them man to be done, and he raised red flags and so on. So the man was saying there, or friend then say a procure baby from Obiwa, boy in there or supplier do port pay no way. I hope you get what I'm saying. Instead of there, okay, other than the Bahaba is ECG. Nanke, we are no contract no one end no. Or that neighbor do port pay. So I found raise issues on that. So he advised that in your money fee outside the bar, it shouldn't be the final destination shouldn't be the port. I'm not crying, man. Into so baby bar. I'm not double direct. But more in there or crying man the final way on your port. If we are then ECG will go and clear one yaman into the man urban them no. So I feel I gave a friend or chair corner young fado. Or chair corner young fado. But what did we see? We saw our brothers pointing fingers. The Iyaku Afenyo Osro for the opportunity. Watch that also my final politics on your movie. I even heard Mahama, the former CEO of ECG. He was at Asampa saying that don't
big Mahama.
Yes, don't mama yemfa napo no nya Afenyo mbo them issue him. They are not part of it. But we are playing politics. Today I want to say Obaka chair and the continent no obiale wiye on your way. This is they are telling us this. So this is how Akoshi you know couldn't afford that would say Akoshi what can someone no kwara the chair or tumfutu what can someone on ko gunkofu when you must my him. This is a clear example.
You who been so different warehouse I mean what melt what turn into different thing altogether.
On a more serious note, what's why you know I don't work at the
energy ministry.
Energy.
Okay.
NDC Piero no others and he is telling out there. My is for but TV do radio do work there. NPP for no and they've seen it. And Bibimpo or days I don't want to clear nimpo upon wabe account. Which means that there were others. Like ECG to clear, want to clear my account. So more melt no on one you should am now we empty. ECG Macam am now we empty. Moaba cannot need the home come. I hope you get my argument. So what I am saying is we shouldn't be too quick in judging people. We shouldn't be too quick. As some news bodies are constitutional mo kwande wonye person but when hwehwem for one wonye hwehwem no ni hu be atilbada enambada adena be na wayo na then afenyo we ko wia na po we wia de mi no kansam obi wa.
Is it that the first committee they raised in their report and they after that and there had to be thorough investigations into the issue? That is why we have been what is going on now.
No, the committee was setting. No, was that committee? No, the one they were missing containers. I'm sure the committee they are not investigative bodies. Ghana how you to the CID or the NIB or friend. We have even the office of the special prosecutor. They all the person the way for. And I think this issue the NIB together with. I think those who work at the ports, no way even there are other containers are one clear. So the issue, my issue is no one engine no all point fingers in the ear could read that mad, What go, been when you must be whatever. You see, what's it in your Yamaka in Yam be wise so far we gain this reputation, then it take one day to destroy all this hard built reputation. And now that we found out that them Yamanu when Kuria or Yano Quatisia Yamanu will go port or ECG won't even claim. What will you tell those you disgraced, those who you spoke ill of the Kuria? I say as ECG board about no yen. He brought up measures. The procurement shouldn't be say when you import in your man in there whatever port for it to go and clear their goods. So when you import I do all about the final destination today be ECG or import here about ECG, then ECG will pay off and finish the contract. This was deliver your money or porter. Then it's clear. Then to be a loss to the state. So these were the recommendations of African markings concerning procurement. So if you don't know, don't sit here and say that about no yay. I hope you get what I'm saying. So you're going forward. No, let us not be quick in judging people.
Okay.
Say issue be sir. Near whom baby issue nifi near and so on. That would be the best than they about point figures. Near can someone go for movie.
Aziz Milasi. Teacher, Akaba.
Yeah, James man.
Bibi Aboko.
Erazinadum.
Yeah, there, Yamiasi.
Ananya,
yes, Ananya, going to more 10 minutes in a
room. Okay, thank you very much.
Now the information in these containers are Okada Uniano and the Wiko or the various ports. So I mean the question may be saying there. So what of the reports are in Canterbury?
Okay.
And then the various announcements, the various arrests are I mean, what is going on?
But that's my member opportunity as I'm a medo na minchia etefo stronko. And kankara endi simba wo finfriman to maha. Wana wo Cape Coast South, Cape Coast North. Abra sebu kwa mankese commander edna egwafo na mamizim mfanteman michi obi biara. Na minchia me brother Eshen na uncle Mr. George Atta. Teacher George Atta also there say idu Tuesday na wente ma or Samuel idu Tuesday na wente ma no ho ontono kra nti michia Sir George Atta I was Samuel michia o ewiabere sonko na me assistant headmaster na maami I say hey idu Tuesday ya na wa bet na ho minyi maami ni zinimom Mr. James na maami baby bia wo bia serete ma michia o sonko na minchia mayor of Cape Coast my brother Justice George Atta na NDC party mpanyinfo nyinaa na etiefo a wote my sister Jennifer baby a obi a mecha my sister Benyua my brother Father Casford ana onye Ohima my sister Ohima mecha wo nyinaa na my brother deputy organizer Cape Coast South Alberto mecha wo nyinaa quick one na my brother can some crown ebien. You see, first one, a trace them issue here. And yeah, NDC abroad from January Zibe, no honorable Jinapo, who detected them issues no. There were correspondences between Ghana Revenue Authority and ECG as far back as 2021. Dubik Mahama was appointed around 2021 thereabout as managing director of ECG. Ofi Abrochi by as MPP branch chairman or Abrochi baby or now by our appointing. No. That was the time I started or Trump. This clearance issue no. Into no so be better na bakada obi wa aba no batanish obi image. Obi wan an image no batanish. And are you trying here to say them that means rot now occurred between ECG and suppliers no as papa. That mean new directive you come and say me or your new directive honorable John Jinapo Zama ECG there. Won't change one procurement AE. That is why hot now suspend all procurement AE. Honorable Afenyo Markin was board chair for Ghana Water Company. Then right from there, board chair of ECG. Now brodo damo rotting now bono. Time Honorable Jinapoko raising war parliament. He wept. No sin there. Oh yeah, Nkobo Honorable Jinapo. Ma wa correct the wrongs in the ECG and what have you. Remember that now also do atani. For an image no atanish. Eye Ghana yi eye babuni to da me na dam roti dam nzama boni rekodo aban fufuru aba first report no ye during the transition and oba there about 13,000 why
13,000
no initial 1,003 sorry initial 1,003 and second investigative team ye oil broad national security Port and Harbours Authority, AG, and other work boma. I know na under what Obotum Abade say Abanu went to the man mona and Kalam containers overnight will be a pushy bogu. How do you know? Into say a babun na waha or the when one did a ban papa ba no what did she say guquanim ama manzama why you what it could even happen there ECG and I declared. Them obaya it was who be no whether Babache or Badamazin. You don't have to be quick to say there obi wa tarnish obi. What an image no wa tarnish. Onya no kwada the mazi yokoda.
But we were meant to believe that yes. A certain number of containers were missing. Yes.
Were missing.
And there was a report. I mean a comprehensive report.
No 2 ways about that.
But
no 2 ways about that. Who has run away from that?
Yes, but in the coming out today.
No, your minister now instituted them second committee where them investigation.
And at the end of the day, the containers that were meant to believe there why you.
So each the
containers are there.
Each I mean now there ECG and I declared to the minister.
Okay.
That is my point. And you see that is why I read even reporter interview now another minister and a PR or grantee now. Osi wa refer some of the issues to the Attorney General Department. So we don't have to be quick to say that once we have been able to retrieve some of the missing or more than the amount I suspected why I'm missing, it means that nothing has happened or nobody has done anything wrong. And the normal circumstance, or then a supplier, even them a supplier or supplier as a bar, I'm a contract or supplier as a bar, ECG, no order corporate, no clear. I mean, doesn't make sense, excuse my language. And some mazanita into say a babun nasa rot damaro kodo nasi MPP into nebebe defending our bet na ha you are daching udachi namun painful na ye jiwotinu wobo na wako ami maka NDC penyi bia yaze no nya memma matna ha na memeka de once o ye NDC penyi no why yaze ni me be defend if you know the rot na nzama bono kodo in the energy sector entna ha asebebun na nkada obi we gu obi no ho fi. Honorable Afenyo Markin was board chair of ECG. Otumi yehu bibia nko catch Honorable Jinapo there or no full support na obobo ma wa clear the rot now or yeah then
it means there was something going on there.
It. Or yeah then ko botum wetuana ho. Now so wentum. That is what Honorable Afenyo Markin said. Inti me brother abasam na otare kai. Mo me yan dwene Ghana ho. Asimbebun na yan dwene yeda achi ho. Dam nkofu ye kan wasem nyina they over 50 they are 60 And some of them are going. I mean, we are in our mid-30s or early 40s. We have more than 2 decades in our youthful age. Ansana yako yenyim. Yendwene Ghana ho. Na yenjai NDC MPP. NDC MPP about 2 Ghana. Especially ayana ayembebun. Inti mo bi mbetna ha mbo 2 de. Hwana na watu mfu 2 de gun. Hwana no nyim the rot in the ECG. Abekodo bi watu mfu. Hwana na watu mfu 2 gun nyim. Abana papa na waba. Na investigation papa akodo na ye hu there even my ECG what declare to minister ne there dame na wo ama wo kohwe ma hu there wa ye wo no wo kohwehwem wo ka ye nhwehwem second one no when you more we retrieve more containers you travel there is something wrong with the declaration that ECG made. It is something should be done, and that is why I'm happy there read the report na statement na minister releasing that now say honorable Dubik former MD has been invited by the security apparatus.
Yes.
This statement has been taken. Other people are they are on them. Investigation is going on. Nti me brother basan o kare we go bi na yimase. Wona we go na yimase. Se warankasa se akra this number of containers is about many. Now from the beginning now what can no undo them. Now what's the day why you? Abanis no. Mama Sanme Institute another investigating team. Ma won yen hwehwem na yen hwe there. Oya no kware there. Dam number of containers why you are. Na why yen hwehwem na we retrieve more than the number ECG. Oya then o declare there dam containers na water. Ayo bi a edwene Ghana ho a Ghana ne dachi ohian as bebu na wa Ghana enka do obi egunu mu. But several questions.
Engine did there in some no bobo ebe no so no if the minister or in one they are supposed
minister ababon no ye
maybe nyamte
to a point bona minister no why trama I apologize on his behalf.
The minister why you boni bi an don ye boni
bi where from there
ma me kind there ana nsam ne shas do bobo ba no I mean yenya butala there ebinu more point na we day eyi day ayo I mean maybe there was an under declaration and they were quick but yenya butana ye further investigation ka the
you mean say yenya butana ye the mazina ka ebia containers ya wa you nka wona wo we mpo nka wo fa was kwaya. Are you getting a point? Ibianyi dam Washington DC rot ya wa kodo wo hoye abrant wo employee in 2017 ya wa hye sumazi we di drum wo Washington DC US Ghana embassy or ha neda ete ranking member on us ne what the issue now about out no we shut down Washington DC wo Ghana nanyim ase. Look at the thinking of MPP people. That's so busy one na expose na elugu nanyim ase. Or yeah, one of the ways of fighting corruption and rot in the system. Intinye bibia na wode ye kayanu tum se NDC fu wa ya za amen awo onye de ye kayanu tum yen kodo yen ka yen point out obotum abede dam dede na okodo anu na ma wona wo wewe container ni na wo ze kesisi wo ma ene we ko hunhun containers ni
wa send the containers ni kesisi wo
and two the bottom line is that ECG the whole system ame mutual bills and the whole ECG setup and the system is something that any serious Ghanaian should be worried about.
So maybe were we not mistaken that as some no were pointing fingers at politicians, but the technocrats at the ECG,
the politicians, you see, that is one thing. The politicians are the ones who are leading. The technocrats are there working. Say a politician, that's not why you're high. Ma technocrats no would do what you say, ma. I wouldn't ever born first because I want to hear political figure or into I won't know there you will you may need to expose. What kind of will be a work in the statement or say, oh yeah, managing director Nibia. What that to go there, other staff members, have also been invited. One year technocrat. So the issue is not about, but always the political head is the one that takes ultimate responsibility. So that is it.
Okay.
It is incumbent on them now for them to be extra careful while you due diligence, not while you're the right thing. Once you do the right thing, you'll be exonerated.
That's it. Yeah, my member Odo, the question is in twofold. Were we rushing with regards to this missing container issue. Another, the ECG, they under-declared the number of containers our port, and the declaration was about 1,300 or so, yes, at that range. Now we are talking about over 2,000 containers were uncovered at the various port terminals at Waterma Port.
Unfortunately today, Messia a chairman a piano engineer wa Harvard. Messia new faces, and it's all good. It's all good. First and foremost, we question us in twofold. Did we rush? And did ECG under declare? For the former, did we rush? I can answer that question. But for the ECG under declare, I won't even attempt it, because as it stands now, CCI, we cannot tell whether they under declared or not, because on are able to mark our S1 except a forensic audit is done. If no forensic audit is done, you cannot tell whether they under declared or not. Now, I think that as some we are making it too simplistic. But there is more to this issue than holds the eye. Sometime in the 31st of January this year, there's a new government. The government decides that Mamun put a few people together, 5-member committee. Now, when you investigate, in Zambia during the transition period, and Yenhun were documented. So they bring in my own good professor, Professor Senyo, or in UCC, that we a procurement expert. The chair the focus of them investigation, the first investigation, it was purely on a highly, because if the chairman of that committee or a procurement expert there, more of procurement issues and breaches. Inti Professor Senyo in the committee was seated down over, I think, a 3-month period or so. If you take the report, this is the heading of the report: Investigative Report on Electricity Company of Ghana's container hold-up at Tema Port and related procurement issues. First of all, I want to ask the Honorable Minister that, as it stands now, container no ahinankasa na wayo, because me I'm at a loss. Don't forget that in the first report, this report here may quoted by Senior in the report, what's it? The Ghana Port and Harbors Authority, what share one figures there was a variance or discrepancy of 2. Then what beside ECG for so? ECG for say the discrepancy is 1,346 or 47. So it means that from the onset in Ankasampo, between Port and Harbors Authority, no any ECG there wasn't an agreement. So that in and of itself is an issue. Because if say Makade won't far good in Bram, na good na was there's a paper trail to everything. Na nipa na good in webo do wana saying ye kre good na is bogu a Kastle FM phone studio ha. Yipa na in charge of good osi good no wa kre no 1,348. Waka kan in so no 1,346. Ebien or hin. Nipa no so on na anka so o ma bi kra good so. No so see ye kre there ye kre 2,400 and something. But was it bear no? My answer is 1,000. More 1,346. Clearly, there is an issue.
Yeah, a lot of discrepancies.
Absolutely.
In line.
Because these are things you can count. If a container until they say a penny about my fashion, there are things you can visibly easily count. That's the first problem with this matter. The sending them wa. The members said the Honorable Minister that container no ahina kasana wayo. Which is why I say I can speak to your first question, which is, did we rush? The point really is that, and I think it is something that a problem woman say abundance I see that there's a certain haste to be there. Yengu abanda down. Yengunu finian for information be more out. And it's not only with NDC now or His Excellency John Mahama too. Because if you cast your mind back, before our MPP for Wabeba in 2001, President Kufuor, they say, oh, President Rawlings, you know, the people are corrupt. Yeah, but I bet you they come in 2001. What happened? Then, fast forward, President was 2008. Oh, NPP before we are seeing, we are Ghana's car. They came in 2008. What happened? So it is a trend that is continuing. And I think that all day yenya abutani shedemaze. Because we will create a certain impression in the minds of Ghanaians. But yeba, the reality hit us now. Then Ghanaians will be disappointed because yeba no, you catch on the yeba, you bear them in where we are. Why they me in here? But yeba ni yentum ya yedene. Assembly can yentum ya substantiate those issues are. No, I bear problem. I'm a partner. So I think that respectfully, in my humble opinion, the Minister for Energy and Green Transitions, in the first time, should have taken his time. Because really, I think the containers were not lost.
The Duke Mahama said,
no. I think, respectfully, they were not lost. The other bit is also that, say, bia, say, Minister, one fam betugwa, enche, baby, as in waskatana ogunu. That is another thing you must avert your mind to. Because since you know, we are trying to understand the situation. So, my first question is, how many containers did ECG procure? How many? One friend ECG from Wambra, there were two managers. First, Dubik Mahama. And then there was a second manager before MPP went out of power. So all the two people must be called and hauled before an investigative committee or whatever to ask them that how many did they and because say EFA them report here by process here, he put the two together around 2,500. Since here what's Mwen Hunkutimpo Obu 2,500 or 2,437. That's Mwen Port. Okay, so then that will corroborate with what ECG gave in the report. In the report, the total linear ECG worker committee in there will procure another what was it ban or 2,437 or 36. Yes, you 1,300, but 1,300 be you. In the CCR 1,300 next why you come over 2,000. How is that possible? No, come now. How is that possible? The man said, "Me service or catch them."
So, what declare that why you now you the more excess.
You more than you. So,
one more way because there are other questions and can maybe said there. After those reports about out, were there other procurement bill?
I mean, really, we don't have to go there. The thing is this.
Oh no, that is not to impugn the investigation of the minister. No, you have to. Yetifie, yes, Yambube Basayo. Here, Yetifie, yes, Yambube Basayo. In a mamino wofian, Ossianke investigation. What could you share? What's in Mabana? Why you know? Oh, you know. When how?
So, Yanimbe Basayo. And I charge you the one question and Bebe Basaro. And I want to walk on your shambano. After you wake home and Beba and room. Yes. Extra to Abake Basana, yes, why you know.
So many issues.
Two knock on of
That is why my point is very, very
two knock on of That's why I'm saying that respectfully, until there are better and further particulars to explain how Moaba Kawan, Oba respectfully, these things mathematically is almost impossible.
Because time we became Ibiayon, there were evacuation mission idea or called. So Nina was factored into Zawehuna another Zawayo no, and this is a report excess of.
So we need clarity. Did you go to search for 1,300 containers? Yes. I went to search for 1,300 containers. How many did you find? I found over 2,000 containers. Yes. The excess of the over 2,000, where is it coming from? You can't leave us hanging. No, that is Are there new procurement? Oh, Justice Watcho. Are there new procurement? So that we don't make the mistake of saying that, because read headlines now, or they're missing 1,300 containers on this year over 2,000. You get a point. So the headlines alone suggest to the effect that as in a why you is a more brodo. It's here clarity. The minister can't leave us hanging. If this thing, you have clarity on this matter, that's why I say respectfully, because a class one student on task. Now moving ahead, and I think that the
just
issue,
a minute.
Yes, I think that this issue is much bigger than most here. It is a bigger problem of procurement. See, Electricity Company of Ghana, you read report here. See, page 7 and page 8 of the report. See, company be our friend DWAS Limited. Them company fraudulently, chade a conbon bidu, were clear 47 containers. Now, what clear 47 was a 46 was coming ECG. We are asking the minister this question, that them DWAS Limited, how far with the investigation, or if prosecution or whatever, how far with it? Because it's fraudulent. Where we are Ghana for it. Again, two, what's it? The same report says that there is a director for procurement at ECG. That director for procurement, he had no procurement experience. In Imbribisun, was the Directorate of Estate. No, in procurement, he has a woman, Niakafa Estate Director now. Or no, why a building technology? Now, why a business administration finance there? Or number head procurement. Inti siya kana kasani experience ana school awako in procurement on be also on your experience be in procurement into abandon the whole ECG what to offer anu dem impande on head the procurement director.
A question that to be answered by ECG. You want say Aziz?
Yes, I have some few about that.
Yeah, just 5 minutes.
Yes, and before I start, no one can again. We are going to pay one and if there are issues, we are how we issue and how to address that issue. But when you are going better now, we shouldn't sit and undermine people's offended. And feed the BS how they are saying in Akito. You see, when he came in, I was addressing an issue. Maybe I know you have one and say, and shall say no. There is rot at ECG. And I'm not here saying that Moko do hold when you also and there or yeah, but what I am saying is that, and Joel has affirmed my point, that investigations now and what shots they rush in naming people and shaming people. And what there, you've mentioned my name. I have stolen this. Now you see who there's and I don't put as Mercury and Umpono until them. Maybe I don't know what's on. Sana bibimpo go bibimpo
baby
yeah befra on point and point that ombado. But the way you mention them, call people here could dragging now bringing a final markets they could containers. Meanwhile, it is not true. This year them 1,000 containers why you know. It's about the go there. It is even more than 1,003. I hope you get my argument. It's even more than 1,000. Yes.
On the difference.
Yes. I want to say I don't know what's Okuwi Yamano. Okuwi Yamano is our ever. It's a how pot where you can't steal something and overnight bring it back. It doesn't happen that way. Say you pot at that. You go through a lot of process. So you can't just enter and steal. Like what he is saying.
Could it be possible that Abba Friday if you port in a best answer send the book?
No, that's what he said. What's the been pound of Korea? How will you know? But say I could port that. He has not ported that. Even a claim you have to pass through the security agencies and the national security now. we have national security set for one sim. For a lot of agents one sim and sign it to my clear oyama. So what is he saying? Yeah? You rush yama we are saying it. Nobody is saying that more could we easy right papa. For all you know what is happening no easy different what the political class and count and that was what Afino was saying. Then what is happening no ECG as a body don't involve the political class. Nti obi adayo na put maybe about na put na we containers. Now we are saying there containers go yehu ma yehu mo obro da mumpo. So what will you tell those you mentioned, those you disgrace? What are you going to tell them? That's my argument. What are you going to tell those you disgrace? And say what? Number the okay say they were friend they will bet them the extra you know. And the federal report we were told that our friend then what investigations no they minimum or minimum exceed it may be there more good down it's not part of man who buy some no
as at the time the report was being
the
investigation was being done
yes ebia time now
my sister one cover no it wasn't part
maybe,
of
I'm saying
okay.
Maybe
okay.
It wasn't part of
okay
man who buy some no ebia what investigation who there into the report there bibi me gu home we exceed the clearance period you know into man clearing no abey issue. So it is possible that they weren't part of my no bar some no. Now what investigations who there these are also there and they need to clear. Then again no offend if say Afenyo also there I want to help you solve it. Actually he has in-depth knowledge and they were on you offended. We more could so opeda additional we no the Minister of Energy.
But is it not is it not a problem that you are a board member of a certain company, a
so
board chair? Sorry, I understand my question. No, understand my question. You are a board chair of no. Aziz, listen to me. You are a board chair of a company. And a certain role to be a oracle. And as a board chair, you have the political power that you can go to that extent that in one they are involved in that corrupt practices. Now, later on, cover baby. Now you came out there, you throw your support for the minister. Are you not indicting yourself?
No, if you give approval to it, that doesn't mean you're taking a final decision. There's a board. Board, no one for challenge so that you.
But Aziz, are you also aware that as the board, ECG or baby the board, you are aware of what ECG is doing?
What I'm saying is the board chair cannot take a sole decision on every issue.
That when I was asking Aziz.
That is it. That's a board.
But Aziz,
no, a lot of people.
So listen to me. Okay. We say hi, Kastle 90.3 FM. Aziz is not ready to listen to the question that I want to ask. No, Aziz, question me be saying there. ECG as a company, on board, and when you biara at the blind side of the board, and the board, Nimpa couldn't take decision on behalf of the board. It's the whole board. But as Afino Marking, as the board chair, now a certain rot in ECG, what should you do? You have the political will, the powers to take action, and board say bibi kodo ECG, board you take blame for it. And it's a corruption be recorded. Board in you point a finger at the board. I'm not pointing finger at Afino Marking or whatsoever. I'm pointing finger at the board. And in that instance, Afino Marking is the chair of the board. So as a board, you can take decision. And Aziz, I
expect you to do better.
Aziz, and the question is still until ending community. But more just a minute.
Already on a more serious note, if Afino being a board chair and being part of a political party, Afino told us in Parliament that when he saw that he scolded the one in charge of procurement, and he told him that has been the normal routine.
Then what is next?
Yes. So as
the problem no.
Yes. So as board, he proposed the way forward, and he even told Parliament that he even have it or them
reporting board meeting.
Board meeting.
Okay.
Report. He has it. What he told ECG to do, and it was captured.
All right.
Reporting.
Okay.
Yes. So what he told ECG to do.
All right. Aziz Medase. Justice. 5 minutes.
Number one, my brother Joel Nyadwin on 2 issues. The first thing in there, the issue should not be whether someone rushed or someone didn't rush. The issue is that transition, a certain figure was given. That means and on the part of Honorable Jinapo, on procure BBR, and this ban procure BBR. Into whatever figures, whatever everything that, whatever.
Aziz, allow him. Aziz, allow him, please.
Whatever figure Honorable Jinapo was talking about was figure that MPP government gave to the new government. Into what's it day? Yakra this number of containers, but the day le yenhu there from the initial stage. Then minister said no. Then if that is the case, then over 1,003 in a while. The Maza Mamen set up a bigger investigative team to go into the matter. What's your rush? On what basis? The argument of whether certain things, certain comments, and normally is about disika. And this time around, we didn't see those things. At every point in time, NDs are banned under His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, the second one. Apart from ECG containers, you obey issue. This is a clear departure of examples, not mine. To the President Kufuor by 2001. Did that way, President Kufuor by 2001. Did that way, then NDC by 2009. Did that Okodo 2017 MPP by did Okodo 2025 was a complete different scenario altogether. It may compare this current administration with the previous ones. Now, the second issue is that Honorable Afenyomakin was the board chair of ECG at the time. Honorable Dubik Mahama was the managing director of ECG. And the marker showed that as far back as 2021, there were letters, Honorable Dubik Mahama, or signing managing director. Yes, 2021-2022. There were issues with ECG containers, where Bebugu port. Are you getting the point? It's the investigation here, or yes, something to the benefit of Amenao as Ghanaians. So the Madian Cobra and Kadam other containers now when we na and Kabin Waba for Fana Wakakotan. Obesina a grand cabal scheme and grand cabal scheme, you know, from the top political echelon to the down. Won't confer war along the line. Will aid in it may find by a private person when import something a walk or port or clear. No. You can't compare private person when importing them to this cabalia for several years. Nippano Parliament yete honorable for your marking. He was lamenting keke. No rusumpo, the obobwa honorable jinapo. Abazi name people abani ye. Yamina Dumaya investigation. Ye kweku the containers 1,003 now once why you know. Ye more than 1,000 close to 1,003 as I come home. The next thing is that, and I'm happy, read the minister's statement now. Also, Honorable Dubik Mahama has been invited. His statement has been taken. Other staff of ECG, once we invite one at the Attorney General Officer, and Zamaru Kwado. So what are we talking about? I mean, we are here doing intellectual argument. You are bringing in Ebia call why a call Mawaka.
Aziz,
we are here doing intellectual argument. Let us focus on the issues and go on.
I mean, our 10 seconds, mean too.
30 seconds. I man, the man. The issue is that Obi Biara, whether a political figure, another a technocrat, who what damn grand scheme, and Obi or your cabal. Nyende na the mazin started. It has been there for a long time. Along the chain, you know, ibinum individuals be some in the political class, some in the how do you call it, technocratic arena. Enti won yina no obi biara no hu won no hu baba no hu bebem. The issue is that yenya more than necessary. Investigation won kodu no won kom. Why are yenya more than necessary? Obutuma abada ECG wa and declare, and it is possible. Obutum so abada da 2020, 2021, 2022 containers are wa clear wa abandon ni na we koku ho account, and it is Ghana ne asset. It is eneda na minister wa ma directive there. Dam procurement practice na ECG why na we engage private companies that won't import and zama mahon na ECG no order support no ka clear na the margin won twam tintan ton honorable Jinapo under ND Saban na one madam directive na if in the ruko ECG will engage any supplier bia naran kra no clear no port no from ECG, and that is the way to go.
All right,
yeah, one kofu bebre. Look, you can't talk about ECG day-to-day running without reference to the board. Anything I'm managing director and by as far as day-to-day running of electricity company of Ghana or consult the board for approval. Urban recruitment them you pay our recruiting board no Obama approval and son we recruiting you. So what are we talking about?
Just let us say
see, the point I'm making is just simple. In auditing, in fact, generally in life, any and everything is possible, but it is how probable it is. It is possible that a bit to me are flying by, a bit to me two for you, but how the probability of it happening or almost 0.001 because we can't cheat gravity. So we are not looking at possibility, we are looking at probability. I'm saying that in auditing, before anybody can say that there's an over declaration or under declaration, you have to do forensic audit. You don't just say that. It is possible. It is possible that them go to me see, but before we can conclude that the mean oughtin, we have to do a forensic audit. Let's get that straight and right. But in accountability, a major part of accountability is communication. But that's actually, see a pede you encourage accountability. No, say assembling them a MPP working in the past. Also see something, you say something, but you don't just say anything. So I'm saying that we have been left hanging. What's it? 1,300 in a while. Okay, you can't show me over 2,000. It's in chair or release a statement. You know what's account there. In Kenya, you now abaka 1,300 in one. Oh yeah, procure the dada. On the abaka, and there so there, or ye free beer, ye bohu near the account, so that we get clarity and the matter goes to a rest. That's why I'm saying that since all of these elements were not provided, and clarity is not on the matter, then they will say, here's to put a statement out. So I'm not impugning the person of Honorable Jinapo. I'm saying that say inche ye to him bara na ye investigation ya wi ni e batina ase ye kan de emoti ya inche on mo ba ma ye nya intase ni better mo abo conversation ni dan me ye gende maya obiari speculate left right center. But moving forward, the problem is with procurement in the electricity company of Ghana. That's where the problem is. This is a microcosm of the microcosm. Now the problem is with procurement. Take obey and then be in the kwamna is wejuma. Na ka cham there. I want you maybe or ham from bro 47. Mokwen makakre na ma bro 46. One and I will say this and one and owen. Again, now the report says that in 2022, 2023, 2024, say allocation, budget allocation was more procurement. ECG exceeded 2023 by 2022 by 74%. They exceeded 2023 by 790%. Exceeded 2024 by 487%. Average juma in the way the mazi will my juma no to wage. So clearly, and they did not give reference to the Public Procurement Act. 663 Act 914 as amended. We use Public Procurement Act one for Yejuma. And you see, one thing that is striking in the report is that the director in charge of procurement also, oh, why a procurement in Bazinton one procurement your baby or brudia. Also, one can be a managing director and every time we are also order from above. Order from above, no if you want to know. Is it a board chair? Order from Abano if you want to know. Is it a minister then? Order from Abano if you want to know. From the presidency? So I'm saying that this conversation, see, look at only the missing containers now. We are just looking at a small bit of the problem. Yeah, expand the conversation. Yeah, solve the problem of procurement at ECG. Because if you don't do that, the state will continue to lose money over and over and over again. It is good that CCR, at every point in time, they want to be accountable to us, give us information. So quickly, they are using their social media. Today, there's a press conference. Tomorrow, there's a press release and all of it. It's good, but you don't give us half-baked information. Give us the full story so that you're able to me. I don't know. You can't. One can there. As some the banner, there has been a new revelation. Baby, Muhammad said, "Be master McCain." Make your question. Thank you.
All right. I was looking into the report. Now, actually, the procurement deviations or the planned procurement, and at the end of the day, my ECG wire. Then the report was also talking about single sourcing. I mean, a lot of issues. And there was a point in where ECG containers about ECG went to one clear. But a person within ECG, clear container no, send button my ECG.
That is wrong. No, you see, I have a difficulty with how Joel is looking at the whole thing in there. One initial figure there or today. Now, okay, investigation, no. Difference we are misinforming the public. That is far-fetched. No, that's a half-baked. That is what no. Did you, when you say half-baked information, what does it mean? No, at every point.
Listen. If there's a challenge with misinformation, misinformation is knowing something is wrong and putting it out. That is misinformation. I've not said that he knew that it was wrong. I have said that you have given us a half-baked story. Give us the full.
So not the full story.
Absolutely. How is that misinformation?
No. We are doing investigation. Listen. No, you are getting the whole thing out of context. You are taking the whole thing out of context today. Initially, this figure. No, you said half-baked information.
Yes.
And I'm proving you wrong there. This is not half-baked information. Forget about that. Okay, I've agreed that it's not misinformation. That one I've agreed it's not but you made a categorical statement or a half-baked information. Yes. And I'm saying that this is an ongoing investigation. Is that not it? I read the report now. Uncle there, Honorable Dubik Mahama, we invited him. Walk on the statement.
Yes.
Once there, other staff members of ECG have also been invited, and they are under investigation. So what are we looking for again? Has the whole thing ended? No. So what is the point that this is half-baked information? at every point in time, we have entrusted these people state assets. As if you are we can ask questions, but we don't have to say that this is half-baked information. No.
All right.
At
Okay.
every
So
point in
so
time,
so may I say maybe the reports, you know, as to why and the be able to do. Now the scope of the committee was to look into the hold up of number of containers. Then also, you respond. Then also the procurement issue, ECG. Now the findings of the reports, you know, also list of containers obtained. So what we on containers are why you no more Ghana Port and Harbors Authority 1,132. 1,132. ECG gave 2,462. And a container assessed and counted by the committee 1,134. And Timana what port war and the committee was says and counted, you know, in a variation here 2 or variance in here 2. And a ECG compared to yes. So Ghana Port and Harbor were reported 1,132. 1,132. 1,132. Now, this is the first report. Containers are list of containers obtained at our ports 1,132. ECG ma 2,462. And a committee, you know, physically what says and then what county our port 1,134. And the variance is in year 2. And between ECG and then the committee variances in year 1,328 are not all. So this 1,328 wama yeta say the report award wama yeta say national security wa evacuate bi ibinsu wa kwachichi bia or certain individuals be warehouse one melt and one turn into different AE together. Me issue in there ma wakwachichi no is it part of the report initial one and or one now what county count containers why you what county count another remember another more question here different and now what they are reporting that what more investigations, you know, they have uncovered more as at the figure in Kawakoye investigations on it. Now the question is, after that, was there a procurement? Another onka mana problem it was at various area and now one discovery, but later on one discover. So these are the questions that we need to know.
See, I'm saying that I deserve the right to respond.
Yes, respond.
Now, if you say something is half baked, or chede, on yet Nina was amo, was the biamo, Mbocho, say Ibiba catch or the Mokrano, and Canon Muhun 1,300 into Mukoshi share 1,328. Next is Yamekun 2,000 and over. Mbocho, is it their full story in Ojamona? You have sat here and admitted that investigation is still ongoing. So if investigation is still ongoing, now it means that recoveries are going to be done, right? Things are going to be found out, or discoveries are going to be found out. Say as back information or doesn't that make it the full story of ECG? So if I say it's half big story, what is your understanding of that?
So we need to wait. The full report of all the investigations are why.
No, a simple.
You don't have to describe it as half big.
Come on, can I?
Until the investigation is concluded.
No, he says he has a difficulty with my understanding.
How big,
not your understanding, your description of the whole investigation piece.
I need to understand to describe it. So you have a difficulty with my understanding.
How you understand it and how you are describing it. That is my difficulty.
You have a difficulty with my understanding.
So just is allow him.
You have the right to have a difficulty with my understanding.
Yes.
I can grant you that.
That is it.
You see? But the point is simple. Missy, if the minister no, or whoever put out the information in Chorikin, no, I catch you there because you sit here and accept or say it and say that NEC, John Mahama to obey 1 year ECG year procurement to be that is to mean that this a year when we are or a procurement done by the previous administration, right? Very good. If it is procurement done by the previous administration, can we say this on authority that the 200 and 2,000 and over now when we see here, that will mean that over 800 or so for new ones in the way. When was that procured? Can you tell me that?
The investigation is still ongoing.
When was that? So it is a half-baked story.
No.
Or information. That's the point.
You say,
so if you say some of these things, don't put.
Means that the thing should be cooked for you, and instead, yimpano one year more and you're complete. No, but the thing has the investigation has not concluded.
And
how can the person cook the thing for you? I have baked. So why do you describe it as half baked?
So let's say
what you have to do is to wait for the final investigation. Yes.
Fine. All right. Yeah.
What is doing?
That is where you can look at the whole thing and describe it as half baked.
All right, maybe. So
this one, it is still ongoing. So in itself, it is half baked.
Allow
him to finish. Yes.
In critical thinking, you call something ambiguity. If you don't understand something, you ask, and then the person, because somebody makes a statement, they say that communication does not happen except there is feedback. So if I make my statement and you have a problem with my statement, you ask, but you said this, what are you trying to mean? What I have described in and of itself is half-baked. How can I say that it is half-baked?
No.
What sort of?
That's not a statement I'm making.
I'm trying to get a point across, and I'm trying. You see, if you have a certain understanding of a matter, keep that, and I stand by it. I say that this information as has been given to us today. Because if you read all headlines, it says that missing containers found. Missing containers found to mean that another year 1,300 in Ohio. This year 2,000 more brodo. How can why you are 1,300 or turn into 2,000? So it means that ABR, the communication, a director of corporate affairs or the minister, on Kenchi and encounter, them extra figure or because of A, B, C, D. It's any them extra figure. Then you discuss then we put all of that together and discuss it. And I'm saying that once that did not come, it make the story have in the Matumaka Sembia Echina, because I can say that it be a pain be like as you saying pain be as where we are over the mean we're paying war. Echina obey investigation not about to go on your pain be na OVA. Name is because of ABC DT. In a figure or jump from 1,300 or could do 2,300. Not the army as a man better I have lied.
All right.
So and I don't want to do that. That's the point.
All right. Aziz.
Yeah, 2 minutes. You offended. Also, the issue is still an investigation, and seniors today they were quick on the issue on Thursday. If you are saying that about Benjamin, you've not done any procurement, the previous government and why procurement, then about there were issues with the procurement. Is it not prudent, is it not wise to invite the previous government now, or procurement in some to answer questions? So if Zenya tell they inviting
the investigation.
No, I'm coming. And they are doing that. I'm coming. I'm able to. Ewa, it is prudent to invite the other people, the previous government, to answer questions. Ewa, now you will be better and then better. You didn't do that. It's a member of your party. At the time they were having intellectual discourse, but somebody who is the director in charge of operations at the presidency, it's still a member of your party. He knows better than you. stood on national television and said that now po African markets no could react of friend containers no Mustafa Bando someone.
Oh, that's the deputy director.
Yes, deputy director of operations at the presidency. A senior member of your party who knows better than you. Stood on national television, stood on radio, pointed fingers, mentioned names there. We could react containers, and today we've seen that containers also could react Numpono. I know my son or dozen boss in them or small. And I'm here saying there the young one reputation, so shouldn't destroy them. You are saying the way investigations finish with the investigations. Simon Makuya, mention my name. You are here saying that example one way. No one pay for Bobo Zin Ugo for him as in my case today. I'm a youth, so I should support this behavior. So actually, so you are being placed at a baby. The kid you want to say at the you are. I should sit here and mention your name out of Korea. Meanwhile, so part of hand. So let's wait for the investigation to finish.
All right.
Then we will see those who caused that to rot.
Okay.
So it's
But I say, just my main kind of message, the share of the time will address the issue. The NDC should be circumspect with their reportage before passing judgment. These allegations will be taken with a pinch of salt when the NDC quashes information to tarnish the image of the NPP. And from aim high, and also Ozzy Abba. Bakano 4 drivers are still charging 100 Ghana cedis to Accra. Parliament should pass an LI before the police can make an arrest. Okay, but I say. Hello, host. Please, I just want to ask that containers found is among of the old one or is a new ones? Hey, Ghana. It means whether the cable is there is a container. Okay. Can promise, but you can come again from Asanazi. It has been that the figure given to him by the transition committee was understated. Remember to start with figures was given to him on page. Okay, on paper, and not physical container to start with. All right. Good afternoon, Kizito. In fact, Commander is 100% right. How can a player win 2 consecutive? Okay, okay. I think this one is different. Good evening, Mr. Host. All the noise, we are making concerning theft issue in our economy are masterminded by the heads of country, not the rot. Not the roots. Hey, if I'm not the president, I will start. Wow. If I'm the president, I will start killing the board members, the chief executives, and managing directors. These are the people sinking the country. Bad leaders. Haha. Greetings to Taylor and Quadre Enoch Kakomodo. Don't rush. Joel Logic will tell you that the minister brought up his first figure based on the figure gave to him by the transition team. If over 2,000 has now been found, it means the handing over figure was understated. All right. May I say, Kwamina, if the food is the food uncooked where they came out with wrong information, NDC propaganda party with propaganda secretary from KKBK. Message in a show and asana which we don't get the real input of your message. Mr. Bebre, a show in Yabutal, Abibes baby, a Makana Monte, a show, Yabutal, son, which you na Yanko in him. Munfia Eunsuaha, Neza, Ozzy Abba. Anchor to a bunch of it. Also, the so-called 1,360 containers that we were told were missing is part of 2,637 containers that was at Tema Port. So it is clear that such 1,360 were not missing, and there is a directive from the chief of staff to move all ECG containers from port to the warehouse of ECG. So, Massa, it is a fact that the 360 containers that John Jinapor told Ghanaians were missing was not true. That is fact. When the former ECG boss told Ghanaians that containers can never get missing, the same NDC people like Apia told us he was a thief. And can we know the crime of Afinya marking of the setting missing 1,360 containers, which has not turned out that it is not missing? Okay. Also, bro, don't forget that some number of ECG containers have been moved from Temaport by the National Security, and it's about 600. Master John Jinapor told us through Parliament that there was about 3,000 ECG containers at the port. All right. So, Ankara Toso Niza Ozzy Abayin. Also, today the portals is the responsibility of Urban Roads, not the responsibility of George Asata. Okay, I'm glad you said the sea defense wall is ongoing, but today we are being told it is Rickett Higan and George Justice Arthur who have awarded the contract for the sea defense to be done at the Brofiudu. Those media houses and the PR who are held in the MEC are just exposing him. All right, but that's it. I want so there as the Abba. A high Kastle 90.3 FM. Ma messages no Embra 0244743143 0244743143 na menkan emfa mo 0244743143 0244743143 fafado na fabra na menkan emfa mo. But the energy minister. The energy minister is giving an order that the ECG should suspend non-essential procurement supply procurement. Also, suppliers must clear deliveries. Energy minister. George Justice. You take 5 minutes on the directive from the minister that non-essential procurement should be one hold and one suspend. Then suppliers must clear deliveries. I mean, it's the right call, Anamibwa.
100%.
So I'm giving you 5 minutes on
100%.
that.
100%. And he on answer your issue about what is being done to cure the procurement breaches now, irregularities or ECG. And two major critical decisions are in KE on honorable Jinapor no order but be take them humanity. In this is the non-essential. It means that suppliers are on critical to the operations of ECG in the power sector. That means they are critical. Into no into minkade one for connected no 1 year. And essential, sometimes you need restrictive tendering today so source in the Amazon because or critical it's one gra enya ma Ghana nyina ya beden yeboko sum ma wa ha Ghana nti oye good and important measures are abana odwen Ghana ho abana on pede Ghana boboda mekawia ECG and asama ye kan ho containers onye no it is adwene do oye nda and men kaso de bi mpo oye MPP abani na nkotin. It has been happening. But the issue is that we take ND Saban, led by His Excellency John Dramani Mahama as president and Honorable Jinapor as Minister of Energy to take them critical there. One suspend the BBR. Se waboto cables na wires na baza. Company na waba engage in the on crano. Nalankasa on import Temaport. Onko non-co trade duties non-clear non-family ECG. Anu no here. Na yada one cry one family Temaport. Na ECG onko non-co clear. Damanza manzama. Anu no zine bodu baby ebudu ya. Woman 1003. No one kwa shusha we 2004. Na yabaka ho asema wakada information ne ye half baked. No. Nsa mazinete. Say ye the margin if you are. Dam eyi amba. Na me brother Joe am matna ha mbaka there. One ma have baked information. Ami mo hia metitiri there. Yabaye nzama right. Ma Ghana wa benefit. Ghana benefit ami ma benefit. Awo a benefit. Me brother yo a benefit. City over for me. Yang go for what bridge, one with them kayo. It as a papa biara baby or affect to be negatively. Say away. As a papa baby or affect to be. This I was one pie boy in there. Sitting in bed and now one's in book of foam. I know see empire boy in there. Sitting now one's in book of work or sir. They even about 5 CD simple. And my lawyer fair was and what to do 50%. Since I want to do 15%. Men when the baby are. Lord, fair why then? What to do? Come. Ye ain't a benefit, but obisu oh baby no one turn. Into as a papa be a baby or affect to be. So as it be kodra, I know a medal. They were quite 1,003. They went who 2,400. Into me next a year in there. Before our investigation, but you know, all the way to work catch Ryan, my young with them. Them extra about so from 1,003 to 2,400 is about 2,600. So which is double the figure where the
1,000 and over.
Inti army me interesting in them. Next report to Ababano. One country Ghana you be a montas there. Them 2,600 there now. Oh yeah, twice the figure ECG wasn't my ban. Liko ECG wasn't my ban. I'm doing tea. Abano kwaya them retrieval process now. When ya damano wo fi hini bay. Oh ebia. The dada za wa krebu gwo the dada wa one clear in the woman. Oh ebia mo yi woni bi na waka fafa o baby na odum. And every report in pa what about 3 terminals so 4 terminals. I will retrieve one year nyadam eyini na wo. Nti no it is early days yet. Ye nya butar abana wa bano ya abana oye transparent. At every point in time and the money be abanu to know what the new information about to go. On your complete, but we can ask critical questions. But my mama on yet today, a Juma wire no on Fasun, and that is my angle with you.
But I say, Aziz, Minister, on my directive that one suspend non-essential. Then procurement about banning so the company on clear and your money through.
Very well, Minister. I'm a directive. It's a step in the right direction and. As a Ghanaian, is a area sky to power no. Quite of course, around the bills and around the tariffs, of course, and say the man it can help to save money at the ECG now, going from to reduce ECG tariffs. Actually, as a former board member of ECG, Honorable Afenyo Markins. He made these proposals whilst he was a board chair. And if say Abani Biabana say or implement the decisions now, board no, and Afenyo being a board member, and Joel said it. He even said it. There is a businessman, and he would not sit down for some of these things to happen. So as a former board, now I propose as I said Abani Biaba. The Abani Biabana say Abana don't propose as the governance. It is continuous. I remember the I am Tiado. This is baby do no. About Tiado. Until baby I feel as board chair no. What you do no. Now Abani we both so now. Tiado. Then again he also mentioned there. It is early days yet, and government is still. Investigating the issue. But my problem is that if an issue is being investigated, why then will leading members of your party? Why is it that leading members of your party will come out and be mentioning names? You see, people have reputations, though. People have families. The emotional effects. As you are also a politician, you are growing up, or people are a minister. Then somebody will see somewhere and be calling you a thief. How will you feel? No, answer them all. Since we are investigating the issue, let's wait. When your investigations in UA, finance and umbrella out. Near who they are, Aziz no far contingency or small no fail. Then the security agencies will deal with their person. But as someone board now, then you see a leading member of your party a whole director of operations at the presidency. Today, what you want? Man, paying it to baby. Today, more could be on Russia. Then you see this no low person sit on national television and be mentioning names, calling people thieves. These people have families. This is my problem. I bet 1 year person you know Kofadi. So now that we who there, I don't know, I have no soon. Put my bimpo send them a channel. I'll break them go for you go when you mass on a band then. But that doesn't mean that 1 year bonibia. That argument no, this is I just go 1,003. Now no, there hasn't been any report there. Yes. So yeah, so you can report to be complete. No, now put of procurement. No. I feel like it's in charge of procurement. So let us not go there. Tomorrow it will be you, and you wouldn't like it. If I do something wrong, and say what? No, they're not telling them. They're trying to report some. We have important issues. Our chairman was heard, and it has been reported that your chairman was smuggling cocaine. Today, issue nada. No. No. I'm a chairman or small because we haven't had any report. Who I'm a chairman. I'm a chairman. No. So that statement in the you can't make it here. I mean, we can't make that statement here. So you don't sit here and be pointing fingers on people. Abra 1 year person when you show me who they in a sabi. I don't want to know. I don't know. Then you sit here and you are telling me defending somebody's reputation. They want to know one person when they in a wafum in and embrace you are telling me that I'm Ghana and Denmark model. But we should not go that way. I know the teacher Ghana. The very fact that I don't know you not doesn't mean that sabi you was studio ha. Yeah, you are. You know you that doesn't mean that if I never had a FA. So we don't be room no fair no pay. All right, Medase. No. Okay. So then can help us who maybe I don't know. Order. As is Medase. You know, my member wants to just 4 minutes in a uncle in him.
Yes, Minister and directive away issue. I think that it's a directive in the right direction. Say non-essentials it could be furniture. Non-essentials could be paper, pen, you know, those things. Inti say on your meter or transformers or nyama no here to the expansion and the work of ECGs then don't, you know, procure some of these things. And I think that, you see, some of these things are important because given the history of ECG, you know, actually ECG in history, to do procurement of over 790% as was budgeted for. You know, sometimes they budget for 900 million, they are procuring over 8 billion. You know, and ABI is because they are buying cars for some people who don't even need it. You know, they are fixing maybe 12 air conditions in Nimpakuru office and stuff like that. You know? So I think that, so I think that the minister need directive is good. But the point is, how is that going to be supervised and carried out? You know, that is where the crux of the matter really is. Because between Yama directive, you know, if say Yama directive you need to die, we don't put things in place or check they adhering to the directive, then it will be that ABI human and obey cost 90. So what I'll call for is that anything humanly possible the ministry can do to make sure that them directive I was out, you know, is carried out to its entirety, you know. I think that should go out because if we are resetting the countries, you know, in the spirit of resetting, you know, we must make sure that whatever it is that we set out to do, that is legal and proper, no, we do it and do it right. So I think that we should commend the minister on this. Say, Okochia, we will say it. But I as this said, also about somebody that we have to give it to him. So I think he's done well, but you know, Ghana, no, the challenge with everything is implementation, and the challenge with that. So now, no, they should halt it. No, the question we want to ask is that if there's the need for it, what be then? Must they go to the finance ministry or come and take approval from the energy minister himself before Wabeye another? There are measures be able to place there, except there is the need for it. ABC will bottom wire quickly so that you get it. I think all those things must be put out, but it's a good call.
You want me to say? Ebusha want some more messages in Umbra. My name is Emanuela. They have to investigate it. Investigation the also compa. Come now, let's wait for the outcome of investigation or of invitation of the director of the ECG, Amohini Jan of Gusipap inside Besa Chrome. All right, so we'll take one statement. Nina is part of the investigations in Winti. Mechi Mobabano and Eboho. Now you move forward. Now, young queen, exactly 20 minutes past 4. So we have about 15 minutes ahead of us. Na Yenzi Inkomo, our President Mahama, Enida, the Ghana CEO Summit, and Oziko Kotuga, that the city and they will gain the strength, we should pass some of the CD appreciation to Ghanaians. Only in summer, President Mahama, Ozzy Ato, or the business operators, one name. So at the CEO Summit in Nida, and His Excellency, or the Tuga, that the city gaining strength, Ghanaians, so boy, emerging room for the city to gain strength, or mentioning GPRTU, and then other institutions are what it's all, one in Yamado, just remember, Odo, President Mahama.
Yeah.
Just 5 minutes.
But I say, AJ Suman. Now, menka kakrebi ntua my brother Yoel na some crow kind them. ECG buko kodu baby no budget 800 million. Now why procurement 8 billion. The reason is simple. People want to chop money. And in Ghana and in government institutions, if you want to make money, procure. And oyaza orizigana emim inti my brother Aziz ne angle we take it we go be na masin we go be. The bottom line is that until they benye final investigation in abebe na wie na obia nzibon ehwane de magatu de we go be na masin. But the CC am you say na mama can procurement na nzama wa akokwadi obia ntumi mbeka ntreme de obia nzibon wo be dia. No. Managing director of ECG or your wasuji no one says there bohwe there procurement no why right. Board chair, board member or your wasuji or your that is why you are there. And you want that no, you are there to protect the public purse. I mean our year taxes. And then make sure me pay slip though. We are close to 1,500 every month as tax.
Hey, one could say taxes is close to 1,500.
Close to 1,500. We are mobile.
Hey, now change. Won't see the one chain call you, won't chain call you.
No, some my charge are crew.
Hey,
Moko other institutions now. I remember from one was say, "Been more than you want to know." Makara, nature by you power. Are you getting a point? But I mean, I do. Say who has it?
What is it? All right, so young queen in him.
Inti oyaza MPP aban what did Ghana mean papa na oyazo so a ano so ka ho no mama Ghana city when you yamda under MPP inti oyaze papa NDC abani bay de bia maka nzama na NDC aban why in addition to global issues. In addition to global, that is trade war between China and America. One mama dollar and why then what before kakrano. Abane take certain drastic measures. Obwa number one.
So now global issues can affect Ghana's economy.
Oh, nana. You see. The questioner ebisa na asama kano. Makade it is diabolic.
What is
it is diabolic? It is diabolic
no.
because
you are saying global issues.
In addition,
so it is part of it.
Yeah, Nyabutar. And from 2017 basic 2024 MPP will have everything. They were blaming it on COVID, Ukraine, Russia war. We're taking responsibility for anything now. What are you talking about? Mekada, in addition to or your brofocus and America and this is a and Tasa, brofocus and America may attribute to that is number one. Number two, you are diabolic.
I am not diabolic. I just asked a simple question that now global issues can affect Ghana's economy.
Have I said
because
anywhere,
you mentioned it?
And who has said anywhere the global issues it doesn't affect? It's Ghana and Ireland.
Oh, okay.
But it is irresponsible on the part of a government to blame its problems solely on global issues.
Okay.
That is why we were fighting Aziz Nanaban. They were irresponsible.
Okay.
And one leadership qualities of every leader is to take responsibility irrespective of where the issues are coming from. And obia ni wo obaka and is essentially on Dramani mama okay there obia ni wo betu waka there COVID when you effect to Ghana and amarankasa on your studios severally maka there yes muntu mi gina baby anka the COVID when you effect on Ghana but on Sunday yen to me yen twa foundation ni yenti I tell them from esidana from Arabo I'm man fapem papa na di pillars sisim na ma cement no okoma and from abba ombu but I'm man fapem papa and from no ba obobu drew ni na gu fom. That is the argument. Into a cover the may by it means that argument and you making and task and that is why I'm missing diabolic. Until that argument shouldn't come in at all. Into the issue is that
yes.
and these are banner.
All right.
One of the measures in there. Since yara abinawo $7 account or ABSA and our Republic Banker, I can't just walk there in there and purchase dollar. No, I can't do that unless I have dollar account or your one measure. The second thing is that you see BBI leadership perception alone. There will be our manage and one our manage economy in one sooner one ban and one deals.
I'm confident confidence in the
all
right, okay.
And also otum onye effect.
All right.
Then 3, government is not procuring anyhow. To them why ECG containers and zamanzama. Oh yeah, these are some of the reasons. Then gold board and its activities.
Right.
Since you are one price gold, $1 in and since you are Ghana ban paying the only personal otumo for Ghana gold or the Koyaze amount of cotton. Are you getting the point?
But I see.
All right. In essence, John Dramani Mahama say the man see waba why ye the men's including trade war. Muhammad dollar name eguasi. Me sisi anda mi yurika say it's around 10 cedis. Mobwa. Inti nzama nobo abafom. Ghana fo wonya ho onfaso. Ebi Lord fair I make sure the water will do 15%. I
am confused been once so.
Oh, but ibinum so water.
Yeah. For that one.
But ya bokodo ya to trust one and one akasa.
Okay.
They be a mekanda na meka assembly there. One good thing about military regime, men want the home price control. But unfortunately, under democracy,
and our system,
you can't bring it.
But that's it. Okay.
Well,
more 5 minutes. I call almost 7 minutes. But that's it.
Since you are starting here.
Yeah. Black is
papa.
But that's
ma yenya home paso.
Aziz. Me too.
Yes.
President Mahama.
Yes, very well. Yes. I'll address it in 2 minutes. But before my Baba, let me correct me uncle. A kind reporter of 2022, 13th October. This is from Joy News. Also, the NEC never blamed Ghana's economy on global
Russia-Ukraine war.
So you blame it on
no. Also,
but you didn't take responsibility. You were blaming it on COVID and.
Also, the NDC did not
blame.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
No. One can hear. NDC did not do it.
As the NDC, you didn't blame the mismanagement of the economy based on global issues. You admit that it's had effects.
Yes.
You admit.
By the management of the economy,
Yes, but I'm telling you, Muhammad did not share that view with you.
Muhammad said that when he went outside to give a.
But when he was in.
Until I the same person.
the 2020 presidential candidate of the opposition NDC has been on record to have accused the Akufo-Addo administration of mismanaging the economy, hence its challenges.
And that is a fact. It was a fact, and it is a fact.
Let's go on. Let's go on. You see, say if a city appreciates, to me, no. It's based on two factors. One is your domestic policy reforms, either domestic policies, and second one is favorable global economic conditions. So these are the factors that my city or appreciates. And I heard my brother saying there, what's the dollar account or any dollar account or certain bank, you can't go and buy a dollar. Me, what I heard, a member of the board and the board member of
Bank of Ghana.
Honorable Adongo.
But subsequently, there was a release from Bank of Ghana. Yes, giving out clarification on that.
Adongo was quick. Into when the Ghana Free Engine then they came back to correct it. Because Adongo is Adongo on here a member of the board, so he came out to the board decision. Then he came out to correct it. So a board member told us that Mahama, I think all the stabilized city in there say a dollar account or bank. I couldn't draw. You are not allow me to draw. Oh, dollar no, about to draw in cities.
But that's some American in America.
No, I'm coming. Ataza, you wouldn't be allowed to draw in dollars. You are saying going to buy, and now people are buying dollars. Ataza, you are saying going to buy. Okay, what's going to buy? But I don't go say our account. No, hold on a dollar account. You can't withdraw in dollars. You'll be giving cities. And quickly Bank of Ghana came to change that. But Echo UK, let me tell you, UK one currency is one of the strongest currency in the world. And the reason why their currency is one of the strongest is their gold reserves. Their gold reserves, one city, one currency, why one of the strongest currency in the world. Now, actually, Ghana here, according to experts, I think dollar or stabilize, the only favorable global conditions. So you see, there's a trade war between the dollar and the other countries. It's all my dollar or losing the value. It's all before then our city is also gaining strength. That is one. That is the favorable global condition. The other one is the domestic policy reforms. And the expert will tell us that the domestic one now, I want to know concern. One year, the gold for oil policy. That's the first one. So you see that Dr. Bawumia.
Gold for oil policy.
Yes.
For how many years we implementing gold for oil policy? Now you only impact on the currency appreciation, but rather now we are seeing the impact of the gold for oil.
Can I continue?
Yes.
So actually, one is the gold for oil policy.
But maybe some question. You are not answering this question.
No, yeah, but I'll come to that. Hold on. One is the gold for oil. Yeah, but tell. One is the gold for oil policy. Then the other one is the Gold Board initiative. So if you tell me that I was there implement for how many years and you know now about impact, and now you came to government 6 months in what impact has the Gold Board? So you see that experts are telling us that all the reserves all must know we stabilize. It is the reserves are since 2022, 2023, 2024, we're keeping. That is having an impact on the Ghanaian city. You can check. So also the gold reserve assets from May 2024 from May 2024 to April 2025, you've seen about 40.6% increment in our gold reserve. When we took over, it was about 8%. I stand corrected.
Yes.
About 8%. And we grew our reserves to about 40.6. This is one factor that has made the city to stabilize. I'm not an expert in economics, but that's what the experts are telling us.
All right.
Okay. Good. Then,
first, ma'am, just a.
So, when you want to know more about this gold for oil, even John Mahama himself admitted in the floor of Parliament that the gold reserves, the oil for gold policy, they are the game changer. On one moment. Oh, but
but I'm getting confused though. The gold, maybe the gold for oil. The initiative was that now you enter oil with physical cash. That is dollar. I mean, dollar no or gain more strength. So now, in equivalent, maybe. No. Yeah, or two things that you are saying. In equivalent to that dollar hard-earned currency, you for gold in Konkoto, is different from the reserves. And because gold for oil, no, you have the gold near the cotton oil. We are not keeping the gold. So it's two different things that we are talking about here.
Yes. And I'm making these 2 points. I am saying that now we have reserves.
So the gold for oil should be out of the equation.
No, just not.
Yes, for now.
To me, gold for oil should be out of the equation.
What is the essence of having gold reserves whilst your economy was sinking?
Okay, Aziz, just 30 seconds, specific.
Yeah, so we were keeping say government was buying the gold, about not the gold no. Now we want to see our city gain its strength. And the dollar no qua or put the pressure. So buy enough. It is more than what you're going to use to buy the oil. So you keep some. Hence, we reserved more gold for the future.
Okay.
That has brought stability
to the economy.
To Ghanaian city.
All right. Aziz made that say, but I don't know if Joel, you understand my pointer. I understand gold for oil policy. I mean, now we are not going to buy the oil with fiscal currency. That is the dollar. Yes, it's a dollar, baby. Or put pressure on the city. So yeah, the gold in equivalent to the dollar. The oil no. It's different from gold reserves. That is to back our currency.
They are different, different policies, Because if you look at it, like you have explained, yemfa and gold, yemfa and kassan oil, that's a barter trade, And yemfa and gold and yemfa sea, that is different. But I can also understand where they are coming from, to the effect that as a crash say okosura, bibia no bukosur is oil. So fuel no bukosur menma. When I work on this, transportation into no bukosur. You see, it a driver for fuel no bukosur, so it affects everything, So once you are not carrying money out, and you are using your gold to go for oil, it reduces a certain pressure on your currency. And that's one. Two, all my gold and so, all my oil so, you been your fuel fimino, all my no boy the ne, foam, thereby affecting all other sectors of the economy. But the question is that when they were implementing the policy, did we see the effect of that? Because the dollar was still rising.
Yes.
The fuel prices was also going up.
But genuinely speaking, the dollar though rose up to I think 16 or 17.
But as at the time of World Freedom, it was around 4.
16.
No,
15 there about.
Yeah.
Was around 14. So I stand for correction.
Yes.
I stand for so let's even grant.
No.
So come now, let's even granted that it even dropped up to 14 in part. That was still high anyway. No problem. No problem. So granted that it's even dropped up to 14 there about that. That would mean that we saw a little bit of effect of their policy on the city. But to move from 14 up to now, I hear it's around 9 point something.
No, it's 10.
It's 10, right?
Yes.
Okay, so from 14 up to 10, that is huge.
So Mami Fadami, this is Wednesday, 8th of January 2025. It was 14.69.
Okay, so 14.
Wednesday, 8th January, sorry.
Checks 5th or 6th.
No, December was around
8th January 2025, right?
Yes, 8th January.
So that would mean that that's what they left.
Yes,
you know,
that is what you left.
8 now,
Oh, no.
Oh, now,
December was 15.
Don't do this. Don't do that.
Perception alone.
So come now. So
started
every time we say them, I have them conversation here. I'm a Messi, and my stance is simple. You know, you cannot give all the credit to this current administration.
That is it.
Neither can you give all the credit to the former administration. So some part of the credit must go to the former administration, and a major part of the credit must also come to this current administration.
But in
because
years,
you see,
something like
because you see, that's why I said a major part of the credit. See,
huh?
Because you see,
and you feel on a price.
because you see, come now, you see, Echo UK for instance,
yes,
and this is where I want to take my argument from. Now, if you look at chapter 6 of the Constitution, that is the directive principle of state policy. You know, go to Article 36(5).
Okay.
It says that for the purposes of the foregoing clauses of this article, within 2 years after assuming office,
yes,
the president shall present to Parliament a coordinated program of economic and social development policies. You know, I don't know if we are discussing His Excellency's 8 economic policies now, or we are just talking about the city appreciation.
Yes, I know.
The city appreciation.
Yes,
right?
yes.
Okay, then let's stay with this on the city appreciation. Now, for your currency to appreciate, you know, the bit of economics I've done is this. Echo UK, for instance, they have a clear policy direction. The UK economy is import dependent, and that is what holds their currency. So largely everything that in the UK, no, it is imported from Mozambique, some from India, and all of that. So as a people, say Asia, young constitution, yes, you have a hybrid, US and UK. The economy, so the end policy direction, BBI and hybrid. So now the challenge is, if we continue on this trajectory, what will be its effect on exporters? They will also complain, right? And if CAJ there, yes, strengthen the city with the gold board and all of that, yes, what will also be the effect on importers? So that will mean that we have to get a clear policy direction or a pattern. And based on pattern, there are economic theories that we can be able to use so that our city is going to get better. But I will say it and continue to saying it that, first of all, the confidence advances Obano is one. It has helped the NDC and the economy today. 2, the gold board now was Abano. It has hugely helped this economy today. 3, Ghana, don't forget that we are still under an IMF program, which requires that you don't spend anyhow unnecessary expenditure.
We are still being checked. We are still being checked.
Yes, so we are still being checked by IMF.
Physical expenditure.
And when this administration came, what I can say and what I have seen is that why as they have been disciplined in terms of monetary and physical.
I don't know what dollars now.
They have been
allow him not face him up.
So some kind of in terms of physical and monetary there seems to be a certain
just a minute,
just a minute. Yeah. Okay, very good. This year, we are told, and I always say this: His Excellency John Mahama promised that was not 6 months salary was for Mahama. right? Currently, John Mahama, His Excellency, says that so you can't use that money on Fanko Mahama Care, right? So it means that even in terms of expenditure, it has reduced drastically. Once a lot of your currency is not in circulation, that helps with the mopping up of excess liquidity in the system. So people are not spending unnecessarily on extravagant stuff. And that is the discipline I'm talking about.
May I see, obviously you in charge. I don't catch you don't watch $1. 0244408046 0244408354. Good evening.
Fine, Papa. So we had something about me. I pray we say abroad. Say because Manchester District. Papa, what in there? Madam, you be having to end this leader. Walking in 419. If we pray we say the more one cup, more time. The dollar what to that. On Kenya more class, on Kenya more having us. Therefore, 419 end this Muhammad.
Good evening.
Good evening, I'm coming now.
Dawood, 10 seconds, mean too.
I'm coming now, Madasi. You're best MPP for. Won't see your mama. When most of your mama will be man. What's it? I want young for credit to man. What about it? What's oil good for oil? Now we miss a young dead. I'm good for oil. That one brother. No petrol, no fuel, no yet was a crying. Until Mama will make us some pomegranate for you, boom. Okay. Your mama and I remember Papa Boom. I know why my money, you know what to him. And to Ghana, Puya Jizu, no more, you're tired about you and review.
Madasi. Good evening. Good evening. Oh, Chairman, me too. Yo, Marty.
Kastle FM 90.3. Heavy.
All right. Maso Bedasi, Chairman. Good evening. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, one.
Yes, sir. Yeah, me had way for me too.
Only can you about Kata Adu Commission at what you open to. And then another time, I don't know, and then the call of one contract I would have to Odama Brofre for the Econ by way and then I mean
for on your sea defense contract in can want some address the issue now.
Okay. It's up there. Oh, that year to end it but we are because the double containers and don't the container now about Mawabro. Can I one can fire and find Chayan? I thought you know that yeah, you can have a look to you can have a court that will look okay because I mean what's happening you must be for the 5 year outside but already agree. Now and that is you know about every what to know. But what I catch a question with that. None of you that in 2 4 you are just when you know court that since a court is the one case can be for months for the about the we said this in. Oh, you know, man, it's for BBC. I'm also into that on about said don't catch or catch an elected petition. Okay, and it's for why you did the engine or catch the winning elected one side or winning elected. Obey the one so
good evening. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, yes, man.
Yeah, Alaji.
Naam, salam alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Yes, man. What's the way containers, no?
Yeah.
Kind of fire, yes, serious. Yes, man, I would have been system and for so on fire. So your best is up by mad, it be better, but I don't know.
Ghana for Yankopon is Ghana for pa. Then paying for you when you are going to know about money there. The money away Japaza, come away and come by a container or your Sika water from Wayo. Up a warehouse no all Ghana have almost 2,000 container Oguma, you put the same. The container was at the great as a choir near the Impanano Madikisu. The Brandon was the Kisu, the Brandon Wuni. Or to the Impa Binis not benign day, or cotton with Zuma Mangana because the Mangana on Yega. My boy and this Wabado because of them currencies, dollar currency.
All right.
Oh, yeah, the papa.
Okay.
Because whether you like it or not, for your Wabado. Or sit down for now, Mama history. Oh, yes, the second time. Oba $17, Wabudu $11. Oh, you get to Papa why are the next one?
Let us say good evening. Yes, sir. Okay, Papa, into.
Joe, continuous no was women. What happened? We show women.
From our energy ministry, one Ankasa one in Numina work at the way home. Aye.
But I wait no in I mean
so you are doubting the communication director of energy ministry?
But so we want was but there as in when I'm the child from my country as evidence no what as in what video no what but channel I'm promising continuous no why but in the comfort of your office and I not
okay.
It's number John with me. Abra a park now on a work. Why? Is because
me feel that may you know okay but me my sport for I'm the recently crowd or can wasam
when you sport and so or position wasn't
so we need to ask GNPC why they was stop the project.
One time how long
that's it. Okay. 0244-408-046 0244-408-354 0244-408-046 0244-408-354. Good evening.
Good evening, I'm coming.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to go to
the
I'm going to pass on Medical Caribbean. No more concern the missing containers. But first person buy no. Next I said 1,000 and 1,000
yeah.
As you see that is 2,000 and over. I'm going to next Ghana for you. I did be all could kind of be
okay.
No. That's there. So if you want to why to tell one year, you have to say yo. Well, I think when you have to get cheaper because Ghana I did that to work in my day. Because if you get kind of pressure on your before the other people want that. So much if you move out the way. Now what the born here who say potential a big why you and I say my why you know what I'm coming. Or the one I'm doing.
All right.
Now so MPP and this with function. I know. Because everyone another you just go discuss. Here the party at the cover people.
Papa. I'm
Ebe brother.
Me too.
Etu we firi da pick call.
I asemo.
Man yam dam kra na me yo bibia. Ebu no wa afro e no wala kasa.
Aba ben yo do ma pick o yenzi nkomo.
Enti jam na man kasa man kama asam. Hey brother, me chia wa pan for what me chia wala so.
Ya je do.
Me bi so wana asam de. Jenje ndiale de tena wadama. Hey Samuel Abujina pan. Eno e pepepa. Data na wadama na oba office. Baya 2 months na wo hunde containers ni bia yi won. Them data or your pepper. I'm not saying maybe for your markings because not a board members. So maybe say ECG boss not resign. Not the master me where you man. No, maybe say you napo. That my MPP in the town look at what the rest one. No, but then the me you were for contenders don't shoot yalla wearing trim in the back. So Japa. So Japa. What's one more wooden? No one less than we'll pay the dada. Then this time around, what I tell to some when you made that, when you tell the me, you contenders here, she's a while away to me, cover the quick. I mean, contenders
or Jamie, what Jamie can go party or
Massa, you couldn't be one, so I'm out wages. Man, I'm a so. Let's all die, young good cheer. No one want to I am a snap, I'm a piano, so now was what time I want to do lights. One pound way, I'm not going to drop what we got to my management. I'm one minute man from any fault here. Make your mamma Ghanaians was watching. Was one woman a while, one soon a bribe, and I wasn't at Jinjan. When they were a don Shiriala, what a contenders was about. What the fuck, Rima?
I will be here. Let us see.
Messy, when you now over there, we were the other second apple. Okay. One of what I real the world. Or can it be the
let us see.
So, Messy Japa. About how one that couple of time, Andy Saban. You see, you are going to see what gonna happen.
Let us say good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, sir.
Midi the Akukora, the Kastle Bradunko.
Akukora Bradunko.
I said, I'm a person containers now 7%.
All right.
Get me. Communicating say me reading here. I want to say 30th April. Na some formation of Munya and I buy we social media government. BB another social media. Inti sa containers who 30th April no. I don't think that young farmer feel near deba. Sometimes I wonder. We had distortions war honorable minister and in the man no can. As some kind say about 1,500 containers na naira. And ne that's 2,637. It's a fihin be count. The batcha me we no na me bisa say. Someone say containers ye retrieve wa. Na just say na won konfo bi nchen. Inti na hwan mo nchen na na ewo. Irrespective of the party and ipakro Yempe etimina kambia omonfa sisa bibia wo social media enti omonfa tanko phone di ne matudwa na yenhwe enti sadia and in the first place na minister no he lied to Ghanaians say nyoma bibisa ayra oman hwe ni ye tetero man
enkuko rabeda se atira so free last caller good evening.
Good evening man.
Yes sir.
But your name today
Christ adom hu name ye pa
yo na my system so no today
nyame adom no nso no hu ye
ye da nyame ase mpacho brother to hu fi
all right
mpacho minyi mazi bi mpacho awu na onwa abogofo na wote na won be chie won won bo mpacho gina po be yisi ji wa aka bibi wa abrochira
da bi won your procurement bia so far we don't know
enti oh thank you enti azina wa abrodo no wona na abrodo na o ma azina abrodo da ma sister ama benyo do okay no wazin ka tiare mande da man nyame na o ho se de hwede zi ye duban mbocho wo mo super pepela en Ghana mpemfo waye nya atwe wo mani mu en waye nya atwe nti sa ade no waye na wo ko hwe ma de die na ayo na mo ko hwe na menhu ba sa ha no de me bi sankai no wo no wo en Ghana mpemfo MPP abana nkasa ebekere wanyi Ghana friends ni ye wanyi Ghana friends ni ye nti ochede yi wanje impensen mi ye ya nchenke ni nyame wa na wa afa atwe back door na wodeko na o ma na agbakaw wa ma Ghana impenfo won bo woni bre ye na yan su timemufo no ye nya woni kesetia na da se nyame ye djuma
maso me da se nyame enkan engineer Shamaba connected straight from Awoshi in his modern era politics is very, very constructive. Politics money isn't a money. Chairman, won't you me look? Big boys don't cry. The end result matters most. Wow. To Captain Quason, Director of Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, Takrade, Honorable Grace Ayensu Dankwa, MP for Iskado Katana constituency, and Honorable Joseph Nelson, Western Regional Minister. But I say good afternoon, coming thanks God for the change of government. Otherwise, the containers would have been hidden where they are, so that after some time, those thieves would have shared them and put the money into their personal account. Such malfeasance contributed to the gargantuan debt of ECG. Onto them. Kwesiba for Amamoma UCC. Kwesiba for Medase. Richie from Abra. Please, I want to ask, how do we determine something is missing? It means the presence of something is out of reach or cannot be found at the original place. If the minister said it was missing, then he was saying the truth because the containers were out of reach. Now, if he has recovered the missing containers and also found more about the original number of the containers, then it means the transition team were not saying the truth about the original number of the containers procured by ECG. All the board members and the MDs should be invited for questioning, because all the NPP members are blaming the current minister, of which I find it difficult to understand. Richie Medase. Okay. I'll see. Even when John Jenapol gave directive to his ministers, John Mahama gave directive to his ministers not to purchase state vehicles after losing 2016 election. They did not do it, but went ahead to purchase them. So this directive of minister is a waste. All right. The minister did not speculate. The mentioned figures that the transition team gave him, I can say that the transition team underestimate the figure with the intention of diverting the rest. Ask Joel, who gave out the first figure. It was the transition team. All right, may that say. Okay, also there as the Abayan. And this one says gold for oil policy was launched on January 15, 2023, with the focus on reducing pump price and to stabilize the city. Since this policy was initiated, we didn't see any impact on the market until 2 years and 4 months. I want to ask, if this policy is the game changer, why didn't it affect the system? But we saw the dollar rise from 10.79 to 12.99 in December 2023. In fact, we saw worse things happening when in 2024 the dollar rose to 17.6 in October. So if 4-month policies haven't helped this appreciation, how can a sustainable 2-year policies that saw it at worst help the appreciation? But I say also there as a Abba Ewoho. Okay. Shamaba Makan was no. So I told you already that the second coming of Mahama will bring the positive change and good policies, because God has appointed him already. Jadi simple, Asebu Ekrofo. And this one says, good evening, Mr. Owes. Please do not check the dollar on 8 January 2025, but check it on 6th January 2025, because the NDC came on power on 7th December 2025 in the morning, please. Okay. And I think I've dealt with all your messages this evening. And Yanko Yenenim. All right, Justice. Yeah, Yanko. Just a minute, pe na yan so do na yan.
Yo, AJ Suman, yada eti fase bebre de wenyamber na wetie yan. Yete course obeya a trade abana papa aba, mozin shishe papa aba, and oya medo bebre de yo waja to me there. Abani why you discipline physically. That is why sidino wenya honzen wejina do. Yem pai boy there, Dr. Kastle Tuba Force na finance minister, and a Dr. Isiama oye Bank of Ghana governor. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama obo support one, na ye brother Sami Jemfia or the gold board anu obo support one, way to wonderful. Now why you the right thing? Ghana economy wagina Ghana ye problem I CD depreciation. Okay. CD depreciate or affect BBI in I am watching 2024 election year ye kwe azama MP Lucy miserably or the economy number 1. May I say Manko number 2. Yeah, brasso. Aziz Yanko Yanko just a minute.
Very well. Yeah, so I call my manager because if you didn't chia, Papa, our friend Alfred could do again. Maybe will be a couple now Nisha. Onken. Senior, them are Political in 2008. This party has gone through a lot and we've suffered more than we done. That we invite a friend Chamaun to me, and this persecution it is becoming too much.
All right, and that's it.
Friend, I know we will learn something from it and come back stronger.
Aziz Midasi. You know what?
Yes,
yeah,
come now. His Excellency, we put some 8 pointers be out that them no better reset the economy no. Already. We are vision 2057 already. Who the NDPC also His Excellency committee be our form 130 member or so. Yes, and then there is the Ghana Beyond Age Charter. So what I'm looking at is that you better harmonize so that we get a clear-cut policy. Yebetum yabwa abano to stay on his feet ma wetum why nyeme ma wabwa Ghana for so. In general, I always say that whoever you are, say MPP or CPP, NDC, whatever, CCI or Abanko, only Joma and Aban, woman in support.
But I say, Joel, accidentally be in coma, bet influencer, high sense, TVC, television promo, Yami Adumochina, and now all shall say, into Yami Adumochina, call high sense will showroom across the country. Now, Kaji U television, Nibi, what it's Bono do crab, Mankisim. Or Ben Blue Hills Restaurant or Antilqua, Anointed Engineering Services Limited, Game Park, Damaso, Lonat, and Max Buy, Rich Royal Hotel, when you in Jumukua, or Boy, my Henry Dijumizine, Yazibro. As then been comma the production team headed by Mr. Bernardo Grossman, FKK, Black who's training to Facebook and the YouTube. One so or call or messages obeying Anum, yes, Yamin Sean Bebre, Yami Adoma, Yensen share Ochna. Have a wonderful good evening. Yakronina. Bye bye.